This is the Balcony Life Podcast. Vroom, vroom, mofos. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. It is the Balcony Life Podcast. Let's clap it up for the Balcony Life Podcast. Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep, mother.
Oh, I was going to say that too.
Mother truckers.
I think this is, what are we on? 17, I think? Mm-hmm. This is episode 17 of the Balcony Life Podcast. We got a very special edition for y'all tonight. We're going to go into like a bit of a theme here. This is cars. We're going all things cars, vehicles, automobiles.
This should be great. I'm excited.
Y'all
so good at themes.
Yeah. The theme ones are awesome.
That we don't just, delve off into other subjects.
I can't remember if it was a Baltimore version or a Philly version of the podcast we made. But
it was like a Baltimore version.
Started out as one thing, and then we were paying homage to a completely different city.
It's all good. It's all good. We go off topic.
This is all cars. So come on a journey with us, y'all. We got some things for y'all.
Where are we going tonight?
We're going everywhere. We're going to every hot spot on the map. That's where we're going. So, let's get it started. What do we got for some news here?
All right. So, seen it all. Police in Akron, Ohio, caught body cam video of a bandit behind the wheel with a meth pipe in his mouth during a traffic stop on May 5th. But Chewy, the bandit in question, did not face arrest because Chewy is a pet raccoon. You guys might have seen this on the news.
Wait a minute.
WLWT5 reported that as the driver of the vehicle, Victoria, I'm not going to say her last name, she was 55 years old, was detained for having an active warrant and driving with a suspended license. Officers returned to the Dallas. Oh, just said her last name. Sorry, you guys are together.
That's fine.
They went to her vehicle to find Chewy in the driver's seat with the drug paraphernalia. While our officers are trained to expect the unexpected, finding a raccoon holding a meth pipe is a first.
Yeah.
The police department said no raccoons were hurt or injured in this incident.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. That is the most polite animal that I've ever heard of. Like, it will hold your meth pipe for you. Like, that's amazing.
Are they trying to do like a cocaine bear thing? Let's get the raccoons on something.
Yeah.
I actually did see the video, and I saw a point where the raccoon was sitting there with the meth pipe. He wasn't smoking it, but he was holding it because it was just,
She gave it to him to hold?
That is polite. That is polite.
He was just holding it when...
He's just doing her a favor.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a very nice pet.
Yeah.
So the raccoon was her pet?
I guess.
It was just in the car?
No, the raccoon was her pet. Yeah.
Was she in the car?
They pulled her out of the car, and then when they went back to the car, that's how the raccoon ratted her out because he was holding the meth pipe.
Oh, yeah.
This is what you're looking for.
Yep, exactly.
See that raccoon should have been like, that raccoon should have taken the rap. Like, if the cop rolled up, it'd be like, the raccoon was like, yo, this is all mine.
He was
it's not hers at all.
It's all mine.
Like, you just take her away.
I am in an unsafe place. Please take her away.
This is all hers.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I guess.
Oh my goodness.
This one is not car related, but this is a pretty effed up situation.
I like it.
She has the high ground. So a judge in London, England, recently awarded Lorna, former training and practice supervisor for the National Health Service's Blood and Transplant Division, a whopping $38,000, for being compared to Darth Vader. The Guardian reported on May 7th. In 2021, Rourke and her co-workers were asked to participate in a team-building exercise featuring a Star Wars-themed questionnaire that would reveal which character from the sci-fi fantasy franchise their personality most resembled. So you can imagine if everybody had to sit there in a work environment and you sit there and be like, who is...
like who is who
so you
from
do
the
like
movie.
a questionnaire and they pick one out, right? So she did not participate, but found out later that coworkers had filled it out for her.
Wow.
Dang.
And the result came up as Sith Lord.
Oh my. Uh-oh. So she was evil.
Though the quiz described Vader as a very focused individual, this lady called the comparison highly unflattering and said it made her super unpopular around the office, leading her to resign a month later. Could you imagine people doing that behind your back?
That's crazy.
And just being like, dude, you are Lord.
Yo, you're the worst one.
Yeah.
You're not even a good one. Like, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's like horrible.
That is pretty bad.
That is horrible.
Like, obviously she knows what they think about her then.
Right.
That's crazy. I'd be out of there. I'm out.
Like, I'm good.
She was the boss?
Exactly. She was the boss, and she did not participate, but everybody just went against her.
I mean, in all fairness, Darth Vader was the boss also. So, it's kind of accurate.
And he was pretty good at his job. He got people to do shit for him.
That's true. That's true. So, I got a couple topics here. I just wanted to, jump in on some things here. Seeing as how this is the car episode here, right? We're going all automobiles and stuff. I got a couple topics here. So the first one I want to go to, what is your dream car?
Oh.
If you could drive any car ever, like all the time, what's your dream car?
Oh.
This is bad.
This is bad. I have no
Because
idea.
I don't really know cars like that. It's like I don't sit there and I'm like...
That's all right.
I'm the same way. I don't...
Or is there...
I just want one that works and gets me to where I'm going.
All right, let
and
me...
And is safe.
Here, I'll put an edit on it then. Is there any, like, kind of a car that you may want to take a ride in, like, once, that you've never... You know what I mean? You might not necessarily want to own it, but, like...
I'd have to see a picture.
Yeah, like something that you might, something that you always wanted to ride in.
Like a Lamborghini.
I mean,
give me a ride in a Lamborghini.
Whatever.
I'm going to ask a question. Like, we've been there before. Like, in one. I've never been in one. They don't look very comfortable.
They don't.
What?
They really don't. They look very low to the ground.
So I'll start with mine since y'all are hating. Mine would be a Lamborghini.
I'd end up like, isn't it the one that doesn't have like the flip up fucking?
They do.
I'd end up like hitting my chin or something.
Yeah.
Like trying, I probably couldn't find the handle.
I wouldn't be able to pull it back down. I wouldn't be able to reach it.
They got the all different kind of doors or whatever. But I think like the car that I would want to go to, and this sounds like crazy. This is like crazy old school. Like a 1980s Lamborghini Countach. Like the ones like from...
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that's like the...
That one.
Yes.
Like from...
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I know exactly because I had a poster of that car.
Yeah, because Matt was here for that year.
No. They are crazy.
It's like Miami Vice kind of
stuff.
I know.
I know exactly what it is. Yes.
Like a white one, with the fin on the back.
A white one?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Or even like a red one. A red one with a fin on the back.
No,
like,
right there. I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That shit is so sleek.
Look at that.
And it's got the suicide doors and everything. Yo, no. When I was a kid, I loved that too.
I feel like I'm splitting my pants. Getting in and out of that.
Yeah.
I did that in a Camry. I'll definitely do it in a Lamborghini. That was at work. That was so embarrassing. I had to sit down. My jeans were like, not today, bitch.
Yo, we're splitting apart today.
I'm like, oh shit.
That's my dream car though. That's the one I would drive that around.
That's cool.
That's my dream car right there.
I don't.
Anybody else dream car?
I don't sit around thinking about cars.
Shelby Cobra.
Okay, all right.
1963, 1965.
I thought that was a Mustang.
No, Shelby Cobras were not always Mustangs, but they were. It was it was always something that it was specific to their. Oh, yeah, this is the undercarriage. Sorry.
Oh.
I gotta.
She means the car. She means the car. This is all audio, no video, so we're just talking about the car.
Right there, the picture.
Yeah. It's got the for the listeners, it got the like, it kind of looks like eyes on the front with like a mouth kind of.
This car
with the grill.
I've had customers.
Looks like a catfish.
Yeah, it does.
It kind of got the catfish like face to it. Yeah.
Anteater.
I've had multiple customers come to my business, but they come because of the owners. We had 3 owners back in the day, and they all had high-end friends, of course. And some of these guys would just show up, and one guy had an original and one guy had a replica.
Okay.
And every time they would come out, you could hear the car.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, here we go. Somebody's coming up. And I'd walk outside and they would show me every little inch of that car. Because I love them.
Ah, that's awesome.
The blue with the stripe in the middle.
Yeah, with the stripe right down the middle. Yeah. It gives it like personality. It's like, you don't
like a vacuum cleaner.
It kind of does. It kind of does a little bit. Yeah.
But if you saw
or one of those dustbusters.
Dustbuster. Yeah. It got the dustbuster front to it.
Like, I need my test, bitch.
Yeah, but I love that car.
Do you want to own it or do you just want to ride in it?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I would love to ride. I've actually been a passenger one time. One of the customers actually let me
drive around in it?
It was right around the corner.
Oh, that's
stuff.
cool.
And I was like, oh my God, fangirl all the way. Just sat there and I was like, the whole time. And then,
that's awesome.
No, but I would love, even a replica. I would do a replica because they're freaking awesome. One guy he did like the hood of the car. He did like these extra rivets on the top. And, it was... Don't even. No, I love Mustangs too, especially.
Yeah.
You know, but
a little bit of power in there.
Some of them, actually. I really, if I had a Mustang right now, it would actually be the electric one.
Okay.
Because I think they are so awesome. They are so cool. But yeah, old car. That would be.
That's
my
the one right there. That's the dream car. Nice.
Yeah,
I like
would
that.
Be mine. That would be mine.
Y'all got dream cars?
I already told you.
Nothing. Amanda got nothing.
Something that will fit my family.
She likes a minivan.
Minivan, right? Very exciting, very thrilling.
A minivan.
You're right.
Volkswagen has a new.
She said it like a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen. No, they have a new commercial out on NBC, which is part of the 50th special of SNL. Yeah. It's the Californians. If you guys know SNL and like the whole skit with the Californians, it's actually okay. So listeners, you have to watch the commercial. It's pretty cool if you follow SNL and the Californians. It's such a great skit. But now they're doing a commercial with Volkswagen. But it's actually really cool. It's an electric Volkswagen van.
That's cool.
It fits a lot of people.
Them old school Johns, really cool. They would fit like 1 million people in there.
No, but this one is
take them all to Woodstock.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yes,
and you can outfit it to make it like a camping van.
Fit.
That's all you want.
Like safe. To drive.
That's crazy.
And it's going to give me affordable. Yes, it will give me 2.8 to point B.
You're so responsible with your cars. Meanwhile, like I'm ready to bet like 5 lifetimes worth of
a Mickey Mouse sticker on it.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It has to be Minnie Mouse.
See, I want speed.
Speed.
Oh yeah, well I need something that has a little.
I just want looks like flashy.
Wait, what's that song? Going the distance.
I'm going for
speed.
Matt, any dream car or no?
I mean, I like the hot rods. Like they're kind of cool.
Yeah,
they're cool to look at.
I don't know a specific name to give you, but
okay.
Anytime they're in New York, we can go.
They're all I love every year they're out there.
Yeah. But I'm not like I said. I never really thought of cars that way.
I don't either.
That's all right. Not bad. All right.
I do. Cars can get you a little bit like. Yeah, when they vroom. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I did that. Vroom.
Here's a quick one, right? What's the fastest you've ever gone in a car? Fastest.
I typically don't like driving fast. I'm a very
and this could be
safe driver.
This could be either you're driving, or you're a passenger. Either way, what's the fastest that you ever went?
Well, tell me, how fast have you gone?
Yes.
120.
Okay, I wasn't in the car for that one.
In what?
It was like a regular car, like regular.
How?
What do you mean how?
How? I put my foot to the gas.
Yeah, pedal to the metal.
What kind of car was it? Because tires are rated for certain speed.
And
if you go that fast...
Most cars can probably get to about 130, 140, I would say.
My Honda was 92.
What?
I think I got it up to 97.
My Chrysler 200, I got up to like 108.
Yeah, well, that's a Chrysler. Chryslers are...
If I think about it, I think it was a Honda. I think 120.
Your Accord?
No, it wasn't my car. I was a passenger in the car.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes cars will shake. Mine was going down
mine got
through Happy Valley, and it was going downhill. My brother was asleep in the car. We were coming back from Penn State.
Yeah.
And we were going down the freaking, it's a bottleneck. And we were going down, and I was trying to pass everybody because I wanted to get the fuck home. Excuse my language. But I'm trying to get home. And down through this lane, if anybody knows coming home from Happy Valley, from Penn State, there's also a runoff for trucks. If they can't get off, they
hit that thing,
brakes, and they go off. I'm sitting there, and my brother's asleep. Oh, this is such a horrible story.
Oh, God.
He hates me until this day. So we're going down, and I'm driving, and all of a sudden, I start braking, and my brakes are getting hot. And I'm like, whoa! He wakes up, and he's like, ah!
Like, we're going to die!
No, it was funny, because it's funny to me, because I knew what was going on, and I did brake in time.
So you got to what? What was the speed?
It was probably like 97.
Okay.
I think 92 that I remember, but I'm pretty sure downhill it was like 97 because it was like, woo!
Dang.
Then hot brakes.
For real.
Hot brakes.
They took a while to cool down,
hot
too.
brakes. I think I had to get them like within the next 2 months.
Burned off all the...
No, because every time I drove after, it was like, wah, 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 wah. So anytime you guys get in my car and it's like, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, so that's why it shakes.
Because, I drive fast and I brake quick.
live fast and I forget the rest of that. Anyway, what do y'all... All right, so how fast have y'all been in cars?
108. I was late for a movie.
Oh, shoot.
You were late for a movie.
Dang, that movie must have been slamming.
You must have been going on a date.
Well, no, I was trying to get there on time. I don't want to be late for the beginning of the movie. So, what should have been like a 20-minute drive was like 11 minutes.
Whoa,
holy shit.
It was quick. I got from Shrewsbury to Queen Street.
Oh, man.
Oh,
my. So I know what street you were driving on 108. It's funny because that's the same street I was on driving 120.
But I didn't even realize I was going that fast. I think I was just like, oh my God, I got like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's before you know it, it's like you get up to that speed.
And I mean, slow down a little bit. It was a smooth ride at 108.
It is. Things go by fast. How about you, Amanda?
I've probably driven around 80.
80?
Yeah.
Isn't that what
83
is?
Terrible person.
Wait. Just to clarify your statement, you've actually been in cars where they go faster. You've just been asleep.
Oh my God!
You didn't let me finish. That was me driving. Me being a passenger.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where you come in. You tell me how fast
you've gotten to like 90s, maybe 100.
I know you've 90s. Been 82 with me because when we went to Jersey, you were asleep, and I know I was doing pretty fast.
Well, yeah. Anytime I'm driving with you two and it's a distance, I'm sleeping.
At least I wasn't looking at Polo while I was driving. I was actually driving, y'all.
You might come across a good deal.
And as long as I've known you, I don't think you've ever... I've only ever been a passenger for you. Is that true?
No, I've ridden in your car with you before.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh. Where?
I don't know, but I have.
I don't remember that. Amanda was my ride for...
We went up to...
She was my rabbit to work for a period of time.
That's right. Yeah.
No, we went up to Harrisburg that one time.
That show.
Countertop place.
Wait, hold on, God. Am I a scary driver?
What?
Are you guys scared of me when I drive?
No.
Okay. I want to.
You get a little aggressive sometimes.
A little.
Never when I've been there.
Not on the highway, right?
I mean, you get a little aggressive.
Okay.
It's not ridiculous.
I don't think she gets aggressive.
I've done worse.
Likes to talk. She likes to talk when she's driving.
Lori thought I was going to hit her car in the parking lot. Lori thinks I'm a horrible driver.
No, I
don't live in a car. I
live in a car. I live in a van down by the river.
I'm actually homeless, guys. I drive a car that I don't think it's possible to get into an accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's times where I'm driving and I don't even think I'm late hitting the brake and my car is already starting the brakes.
Oh, that's
Dang.
awesome.
It's like, it would have stopped me.
All right, next one. What's the farthest that you've ever driven? Like longest distance or, most time in the car or,
As a passenger or a driver?
Either one.
Oof.
You guys have us beat. I have like Boston and like Buffalo or
Florida.
I didn't drive. I flew to
I don't
Florida.
have you beat. Where do you think I've been?
No, wait, hold
You're
on. Hold
about
on.
to beat us. You're going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Wait, what you said? What?
I've been like Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Boston. Those are like the furthest I've ever driven.
Boston took us. We drove from PA to Philly and then up. Mm-hmm. So that took. I think that took about 7 hours total, and I was booking it.
That's because we were all sleeping.
Yeah, I was booking it, and it was 2 hours from here to Philly, and then 5 hours from Philly up to Boston, which is probably not safe.
Atlanta.
Dang. From here, York to Atlanta?
Atlanta.
How long did that take?
Ooh, well, my uncle drove all night. It was like we left at 8:00, and I'm pretty sure we got down there like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God, 12 hours straight! Wow,
it was crazy.
To get to
and I could not sleep the whole time.
I'm sleeping
because I'm like that person in a car.
Yeah,
like, I want to see everything. Like I've never been here.
12 hours is
and
rough.
I can't fall asleep in a car. I know you can.
Oh,
but
I can.
I can't.
Seconds. I can be
I was
out.
so excited. I can't even fall asleep in a plane.
Dang.
Oh, I can do that too.
No, I can't. Like
I have to.
No, even a plane ride, I'm like, where are we at? What am I over? I want to see all the lights.
No.
I want to see what I'm flying over. No, I'm the worst person to drive long distance, fly long distance, because I'm the one, not with the jet lag, but I'm like, oh my God, I saw everything.
What was your longest flight? I mean, it's not a car, but it's still transportation.
Longest flight was from Washington, Dulles to Spain. It was Barcelona. Barcelona.
And you didn't sleep on the plane?
I did for like maybe a couple, like half an hour at a time. But I was so excited because I just wanted to see everything and I didn't know. Yeah, it was crazy. And then, we got there and I was like, for like 2 hours.
Didn't you?
Matt, longest time in a car, driving or a passenger?
As a driver, I can't drive more than 2 hours before pulling over.
Really?
Oh, I hate driving.
Dang.
I hate driving too.
I just don't like being in the car that long.
That long?
Yeah.
If I can sleep, I can probably get like
2 hours, but do you pull over and then you're fine going extra?
I'm like a half hour off, and then
I'll okay, and then right back on again?
Oh my gosh, I love driving. You guys know that.
I love driving too.
I will drive us everywhere.
I know.
I will fall asleep driving. Like too long a distance, I just get so bored.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, I love it because I'm like, here's this. This is awesome.
It's almost like I'm trying. It's almost like how I get to sleep because I hate I like sleeping, but my mind's always going.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's like when you're in your car, you're like I have so much to do, and like you're think you're busy and don't have time to drive, right? I think so. I do that same thing where like when I'm sleeping. So I think that's why it's like, I'll fall asleep while I drive.
That's so.
I don't have
because
if I'm not wide awake or if I am.
Oh yeah.
Driving is my other thing. Like, if I could drive, I think I would be less stressed.
Okay.
You gotta be talking to me. You're a passenger over driving things.
But if I knew that I didn't have to be somewhere at a certain time and I was just driving, I'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing because you get to see things. And
it's like new
things that I never.
Yeah.
I love. Oh my God.
I love sleeping in the car.
The longest I've driven was probably Boston. That was a far one. I think that was like 7 hours. Like we drove took a small break, picked up some people, then went the rest of the way. I did Buffalo, Niagara Falls or whatever. That was probably about 6 hours roughly.
Yeah.
So that's comparable. I think the longest was I drove from Erie to Temple, Philadelphia. That was
how did you get to Erie?
I mean, the whole I came.
But how did you get to Erie From here?
No, from Philly or whatever. Like we drove.
Oh, so back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah, Erie is fucking crazy.
That's pretty much the entire way across the state.
My aunt used to work in Erie. Like she worked for GTE when she was alive.
Yeah.
In York, and sometimes she would have to go to Erie instead of flying. She would drive.
It's long. Yeah. That's like an 8-hour drive. Like it's long.
I've been up to the Finger Lakes, and that's pretty crazy.
Right up there,
it's about an 8-9 hour drive.
It's pretty long. That's a long drive.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a car for like 9 hours straight, but it's like I'll drive the first 2 hours,
right,
and then someone else is taking over for the rest.
Yeah,
I'm good. Probably like I'm definitely good with 4. I'd say 5, 6, 7.
5 or 6 hours. Yeah,
that's about. I'm starting to top out. around there.
We need to do something.
I can switch off. Like I don't have to get out of the vehicle, but I guess to get into the other car, you have to stop or whatever and get out. But,
you gotta climb over the seat.
All right, y'all. I got another one here. Do y'all have any like crazy car ride stories? Like any road trips or anything? Like any crazy road trips that you went on? Anything that was like real nuts? All types of problems or whatever.
My sister and I.
Or fun or whatever.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
We were at a wedding. I won't say who because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Whatever. But we were at a wedding. We were bored, and she was just like a recent driver.
Yeah.
We were like, let's just leave. And I was like, all right. So we left. We got lost, but we were like jamming out in her car to Mariah Carey. Some super poppy songs. And she's like, singing, and the music is blaring. I'm like, this is crazy. She was driving so fast, and she caught this one turn, and we almost rolled her fucking car.
Oh my god!
And we had like on two wheels.
Oh my god!
And it's like we like got back down, and then she starts driving. And like the radio comes back down, like we turned it on. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Let's dial it in a little.
Let's calm down.
Oh my goodness!
Mariah Carey almost killed us.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It was like Heartbreaker or something like that.
Oh my God.
It's a good song.
Heartbreaker.
Yo, the Jay-Z remix.
I usually sleep on any of my trips, so
you don't even remember car rides.
No, well, the only one when I had to drive us home from Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah,
that sucked.
I think I was pretty hungover.
Yes, you couldn't drive, and then driving you home from the hospital down in
that
Philly.
Was rough. Oh my god, that was rough. I felt every pothole on the way home.
I seriously was trying to do the best that I could.
Like I just had my stomach cut open and I'm like got stitches
just like,
and it's just
the front seat's laid back, so he's laying
it's
there.
Like the day after surgery.
Why?
Because of the surgery or whatever, like the.
So it was the surgery.
Yeah,
you had it out there.
In Philly, yeah.
And Pennsylvania roads are terrible.
Yeah.
No shit.
And
the whole 2-hour drive home, like and like. Normally it's like, we understand all the speed bumps and all that kind of stuff, but like, when you just had surgery and it's like, like everything hurts, you're hitting every bump, like you're feeling everything. It's like the worst pain. Like, hey, we made it though.
Yep, sorry it was so bumpy. I was trying my best.
It's fine.
When I was a kid, me and Mom used to, a lot of the family actually, we used to go down to the shore for like day trips.
Yeah.
Me and Mom went down for a day trip.
Ocean City.
Yeah. And we came back and her car started steaming on the Bay Bridge.
Oh, God.
Oh, my Lord.
So we had to pull back to the front of the Bay Bridge, and some guy came over and actually poured water into, this was
cool off or whatever,
And then we were able to make it home, but that was a crazy thing, because I was just like, how are we getting home? Because, like, me and Mom, like, both love to just drive. Like, it's like, you don't care where, you just want to freaking drive and just find your way back home and stuff like that. But we used to do that, and that was a crazy time, because it was like, shit. How are we getting home? Like, we're down in Bay Bridge. Yeah. Not even across the Bay Bridge.
That's a long way back up.
The beginning. And somehow this guy helped us. He was godsend. He helped us, and I think
I do not like bridges, so that would scare the pup out of me.
I
like bridges. Yo, that actually...
the bridge coming back from Harrisburg when my car decided to turn off.
Oh, yeah.
In rush hour traffic.
Oh, my God.
I was just, all right, this is happening.
You're like, I live here now.
I can't even pull up to the shoulder. There's no fucking shoulder. It's a bridge.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's so scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, one of my best, like, memories, I feel like, with driving was actually, like, driving to New York. Like, I drove solo, and it's, like, it was so cool. Like, because you're just... It's like coming from Pennsylvania. It's like we don't see those things like in New York or whatever. Mm. So driving across like driving across the bridges, driving across like the Verrazano and stuff, going through Brooklyn and stuff, and it's like, yo, like this is so crazy. This is like not like around here. So it was like it was just such a cool experience. Like it's something new. I love new experiences. So it was like that's
my nephew.
I always remember that one
from Brooklyn every time he comes home.
Yeah,
my nephew is a Brooklyn mofo.
We're going to visit.
Dude, I talked to him tonight about Brooklyn. He's like, it's good.
It's
like,
good.
It's a long drive.
All right, I got one more quick topic, right? This would be a quick one. Is it a moonroof or a sunroof?
Oh my
God. Moonroof or sunroof?
Is there a difference for real?
I think
we
did.
We
tried to like hash this out, I think, the one night, and I don't know.
It's
like,
still like
the sunroof is if it just like tilts up,
pops up.
That's a sunroof.
That's a sunroof because it's helping block the sun.
Is actually the one that
opens up.
Mine does both.
I know.
So you have both. You can
when you buy a car, they put it as a sunroof.
I want one of those ones that has like it's like
the whole freaking thing just pops open. Yeah.
A convertible?
No, it's like a giant window.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Okay.
That's what I want to. Screw the moonroof and the freaking sunroof. I just want
Mom
that
and Dad's
whole
SUV is that way. I love it.
Pop my car off. Yes. I hate the whole moonroof and sunroof because when I was a kid and my dad had cars and it was like, oh, sunroof is awesome.
Yeah.
Nobody ever sat there and said it was a moonroof. But everybody's like, no, that's a moonroof. And I'm like, I never had a car that had a moonroof.
Yes, you did, apparently.
Obviously, I did. Right. It was the cars that I did not have that had the sunroof that just popped open.
I think I
just like it there. I rarely ever even use mine, but I just like it there because being taller. It's just like I like... I don't want to have just a seat.
It's like a little extra room.
I'm stuck in a box.
You feel.
I just call them all sunroofs. I'm like, if it opens, it's a sun.
I never had a car with one.
See, to me, if you can just pull the thing open, to me that would be like a sun or moonroof.
Yeah.
But like to open it, it would be sun because you're actually getting the vitamin D from
getting the D
from the roof.
Right.
Sorry.
I feel that.
I don't know. I don't know why they do it, but yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's not, and I've been...
There's a window on your roof.
True.
I just like when it's open, and I can open all 4 windows, and my 5th one. It's my 5th
I call it a window.
Freaking window.
It's a window.
It's the window to the sky.
How are you with directions?
Oh, God. Directions?
Like driving directions?
Yes, driving directions. Okay. Like...
Go ahead and start there.
I'm pretty good with... Like, if I've been to a place...
Right.
1 time, 2 times... I'm pretty good at getting there and back without needing to use my GPS.
Right. Good memory of directions, right?
She doesn't want to say it.
All right, I'll.
Is she talking about? Are you going to say something about him or me?
No, him.
Okay.
I feel like she's alluding to something.
I am so bad with directions. I work at home and I need GPS to get to work.
Yeah.
That's how bad I am with directions.
He needed directions to go to the restaurant this evening.
I just feel comfortable with GPS
so did I do.
Yeah, but you've never been there, so...
Yeah, but I lived in the area for the majority of my life.
Yeah, you're okay.
It's comfortability.
No, I don't, like... I couldn't give you route numbers and things
Yeah,
like
I
that.
can't do street names. If you're like, oh,
I can give you landmarks.
Well, here's my thing. Like, I get lost sometimes because I get in my own head and I start, like, I'll think about things and talk about things. So I just start driving off of, like, habit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, well, I always drive this way, so I'm just going to drive this way instead of actually thinking about where I'm going. So that's why, like, I put the GPS on so that it's like I don't have to think, like, it's right there. Do you know what I mean?
I like GPS also for different reasons. Like, I like if there's an accident, it's going to tell me.
Yeah. Traffic and stuff.
I like using GPS if we're going a long distance, but not just around town.
But I needed to get to the next street up.
I mean, I can get to the key, like, I can get to the grocery store.
Oh, good. I'm thankful for that.
And to the gas station, the places I need to get to. But it's like, yeah, if I'm making a trip to York, I'm putting it in my GPS.
I'm all
if it's somewhere that I haven't been, I'll use it. But, like, even if you go to the same place for 15 years.
Yeah, GPS.
I could still get lost.
Yeah. I need GPS.
If you change a tree, if you do something different with a house at like an intersection, and it does not look like, and I was supposed to make a turn at that intersection, and that area looks different, I'm going to keep going straight.
Yep.
Until I find that fucking house with the certain something that I remember.
Okay.
I get lost in my head. I start thinking about other stuff. I start thinking about, like, you know what I mean?
We went out to Paul's. The last
I
time we went out to
probably shouldn't be driving, to be honest.
We've gone out there for 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's so quiet right now.
Yeah, we've made this one trip for, like, what, 15, 20 years, probably. 20 years, I think.
Right.
And it's like, I still need 25 years, I think. 25 years I'm going out there. I still need GPS to get there, because I don't know where I'm going.
Like, we're on the turnpike, and his GPS tells him to get off and go this other way. And
yeah, I'm like, no clue.
And I just so happened to wake up at this time, and I'm like, where are we? Because I usually wake up at the same spots. I'm like, why did you get off the highway?
Because it told me to.
GPS told me. It just took us like
right back on again.
Everything that you wanted
back
to do.
to where it was.
Yep.
There was a stalled vehicle.
Right.
I was like, was there an accident or something?
Not sure. GPS did its job, and we avoided it.
I'm finally gonna do my spiel.
Okay, let's hear
I have read maps since I was a kid. Yeah. I love maps. Mm-hmm. If I ever had to go anywhere, it was always, we are preparing with a map.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ever since Google Maps, I would plan out the drive on Google Maps. I would actually look at the intersections. I need to see where I'm turning at.
But then you have to remember the intersections.
But I can. It's so weird. It is so weird. I've not been down to Ocean City, but I can tell you I do not need a GPS to go back down there.
Okay.
Even Jersey, when we went to, I will sit there
that whole route.
Instead of sitting there and doing GPS, I will have it just in case there is an accident. But I will sit there. If we go this next September, I will plan it out.
When we
do. I will sit there and I will be like, I know this.
Yeah.
I know this.
Yeah, there are certain spots.
I don't know. Like,
I feel like I wake up at the same spots.
Yeah.
When we do that trip.
Okay.
And I'll be like, oh, okay, there's that house. Like, I know.
That's great. Every time I go anywhere, it's the first time.
We're on the right path. I know this spot.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
This is probably really dumb.
No, it's not.
No questions are dumb.
No, it's not dumb.
I'll tell you if it is when you ask.
When you did maps. When you did maps.
Like, when I did maps.
When you looked up your maps.
20 years ago.
When you were hooking up with maps.
Right.
Yes.
So, how do you know if the road that you're looking at on a map you can turn right on? Like, how do you know it's not like a one-way?
I don't know, but like when I was a kid, me and family, we would just drive. Like, up until my 30s, like even exes that I had, we would just drive. And I think a lot of times, because it was like, we don't know where we're driving, that's how I knew a lot of where I was driving, because I remember certain points.
Along the way.
Driving, and it was always interesting to me. So if I remembered where I was like, oh my God, I remember this, so I know I need to turn here. I don't know, like maps were always my thing. Like I was such a
did they know that
nerd.
Yeah.
If that was like that you were even like, I'm gonna plan to turn right on this intersection.
Some maps would actually tell you that. Some
I guess it depends on how like small it is, I guess. Like I mean, if you're looking at a big map of like Pennsylvania, like it's not gonna have that, but if it's like a local map, I guess
back
maybe.
In the day, it kind of did, yeah. I don't know, but like I always remember.
If I did that, and I planned that out in my head and memorized it, and then I couldn't make that turn, I'm fucked.
Like trips over, I'm done. Gotta go home.
I'm gonna backtrack.
No, but I always liked the experience also as well.
Of being lost?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
because
God,
then you found, like, reasons to, like, see something different.
Oh, boy.
I loved
I'm not that
I love driving.
I need GPS.
I don't know.
Like, if I'm lost, like, I won't be lost for very long. I'm not going to just wander.
I don't know.
And just drive around till I'm pulling over. I'm telling someone I'm lost. Get me where I'm, like, tell me where I'm going.
Yeah, let me get back on track.
I always love that. Like, if you have... But then again, like, that was such a different time. Now you want to be where you want to be at a certain time.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like, I love that. Like, it was like, here's a map.
It was part of the adventure.
It was an adventure.
Yeah.
Everything. I would love to have that again, you know?
It's 2025. We don't have time for adventures.
Right.
I can just Google adventures and look at them online.
No, but then I'll Google.
Would you ever do that? Do people do that?
Just get up and go?
Like, I'm going to go on a vacation, but I have no idea where I'm going to go. Just wait till that day, and then I'm just going to start driving wherever I go.
Yeah, people still do that because it's part of the whole thing that fuck this life. Let me have an adventure.
I'll just go where I want to go and end up where I end up.
No, I need to know what I'm doing. I need something planned.
I do too, but in the sense, it's like if I had that opportunity to just sit there and be like,
which direction would you go? I feel like
west.
Go
north. West, yeah.
East is a very short drive.
We ain't going that far.
I mean, she's going there because she's going to the beach.
I'm going to end up in some water if I keep going east.
I would go north, actually, right now. I think I would go north, just up in New York.
Brooklyn?
I would just, just north. Like, I want to see some mountains. Let me take some crazy roads, not know where I'm going.
Poconos?
No, north.
Canada?
Poconos is northeast.
Okay.
I'm saying north.
North.
Like, towards the Finger Lakes. I would love to just do that.
Let's
again.
go to the Finger Lakes.
Just
I hear there's some good wineries up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll go up there. We'll do an episode from up there. I like that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So we're talking about automobiles and stuff.
Yes.
Do you know how to drive a stick?
No.
Oh, good question. Good question.
I don't.
I
don't.
So I understand the general concept, and I can make it happen. It's not going to be pretty.
It's jerky.
Right.
It's jerky.
I will get us to where we need to go. It's just not going to be great.
It's jerky. Yeah.
Here's a real quick funny story. In college, right, I had a roommate that had a car that drove stick. And we went to a party the one night, right? And I agreed to drive. I'm like, I'll drive. I won't drink or whatever, right? So, and it was stick. I'm driving home in a car that's stick. I don't know how to drive it, right? And I'm like clunking all over the place. Like,
I can only imagine.
I get pulled over, right? And the cops know that it's like college town. Like, he's like, why are you driving like that? I'm like, I don't know how to drive stick. He comes up, basically smells my breath. There's no beer, no booze, nothing.
Right.
He's like, just get home safe. Sorry, dog. Sorry.
Can you teach me how to do this right now?
I'm probably the only out of the five of us. Like I'm youngest of five. Yeah, that doesn't know how to. My dad tried teaching me.
Yeah,
and just gave up.
Oh damn!
I was just like, well, wait. Like,
it's too much. It's like, wait, I have to.
It's like just
push on the gas and the clutch and like what?
Yeah.
What? And
it's adding an extra step.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try.
No,
it's never still a thing.
I've
today?
never done.
People
Yeah, they still some of the cars you have to pay extra. Now before you didn't have to pay extra. Now you have to pay extra
to get manual.
Yeah,
well, I thought that's why people went manual because it was less expensive back in the day.
But now,
but now it's the other way
because now it's specialty cars.
Oh my god, that's crazy, man.
That's too much going on.
We did a 180. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane.
My one niece knows how to drive stick.
Yeah, it's a good skill to have.
That is. I was like,
it's a good skill to have.
My dad always said that too. Like, even if you don't, like, you just need to know how to do it. And
and you know what's crazy? Like as time goes forward, I bet it's becoming less and less of a thing. Like you probably don't need it as much as you used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Like it's just
why
becoming
wouldn't that be
like
part of your driving test.
Yeah, I would think it would be, right? Like it should be. It should be one of the things
back
that
in
you
the
need to know
in the late 90s,
especially when like I got a license.
It was just dependent on what car you were driving, you know, like.
I have a question. Are, like, big rigs, are they still all manual?
Dude, they're crazy. You have multiple.
Or like buses?
You have multiple things because I know big rigs, you have like the Jake brakes, you have all of that shit.
A lot of it's like, I think, electronic too. Like they don't let you go over a certain speed. Like they don't let you, like as soon as you start braking crazy, it starts like going off. Like everything's like
my
controlled.
Uncle drives one and he was telling us about that.
Yeah.
So please, people, do not cut in front of trucks. Like
right.
Whole stuff could happen.
Right.
You have no idea what load they're pulling.
True.
If you see a freaking double trailer going really slow up a hill, they have a lot of weight.
They might have my new Lamborghini Countach in there.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So new music. I feel like May has been kind of a slow month, but we got some stuff. There's some stuff that has come out, I feel like. So
we haven't been on in a little while.
Yeah.
So like this is from the beginning of May. It's halfway through the month. We have Ed Sheeran, Old Phone.
Yeah.
It's a decent song. It's different than
Azizam. Yeah.
That was pretty fast. The new one, Old Phone. Like I'm like, is he okay?
He can't go wrong. I feel like
he's awesome, but it's like like is
is he troubled or whatever?
Yeah. Like here's another. Like I want to see what the new album is going to be like. Is it sad? Is it happy? It's like both maybe because
Azizam
was like pretty good. Like I like that, but we have Don Toliver featuring Doja Cat. Lose My Mind from the F1 movie.
Okay.
I'm not a Doja fan, you guys know that, but the song is good, and I can't wait to see the fucking movie. F1, Brad Pitt.
Oh, shoot, okay.
Formula 1.
Okay.
I can't wait to see it, and
I know what that is.
You gotta look it up. Like
that's gonna be exciting. I feel
Brad Pitt looks freaking hot.
All right, well,
but the music so far, so the album is coming out June 27th.
Okay.
Here we go. So there was another song that just came out. It's going to feature Ed Sheeran. He's going to have a song called Drive.
Oh, okay.
Don't know what that sounds like yet. Hopefully that comes out soon.
It sounds like it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Tate McRae.
My girl.
Is coming out. Her song is going to be Just Keep Watching. Burna Boy.
JP Will.
Ray. Chris Stapleton.
Right.
Tiesto with Sexy Red. Like we have like so many
every
different genres
covered
in this album.
The movie soundtrack.
The soundtrack, which I'm so excited for. So I'm excited for it.
Sounds like it might be pretty good.
Yeah, Don Toliver right now with Doja Cat, Lose My Mind is pretty good.
Okay.
We have Hugo, David Guetta, Kalani, and Dacombe. Think of Me. It's a good summer Afrobeat, electro, freaking R&B vibe. I love it. Dope Boy Phone by Quavo and Takeoff.
Oh yeah, the Migos.
That actually,
okay.
That's actually it's catchy. Dope Boy Phone.
I can't get down with the Migos.
I know, but
I know they're very popular though.
It's catchy. It's catchy for anybody that just wants to listen to music. It's pretty catchy. And then this week, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Rihanna. Clap it up for Riri.
Yeah, Riri.
Even though it's kid music.
Took some time out of her busy baby making schedule to actually put out some music.
3 sentences.
Yeah.
And said, here, do something with this.
Right. She's like, I'm just going to talk this morning after I just woke up. Y'all can make a song out of it if you want.
It's a great beat, though. I kind of, like, I listened to it a few times.
It ain't bad.
It was
think
great
that's
background
that's not
music.
like a single.
Nah.
No.
That's like, yeah, that was different.
But she did something.
She did something.
Yeah.
She did something.
Good job.
It almost sounded like they were like testing to make sure her voice still worked.
Right.
It's still good.
I didn't hear it, so I don't have an opinion.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
DJ Snake and Bipolar Sunshine, Paradise.
Huh.
It's a remake version of Phil Collins' Paradise. Has different lyrics, but the same beat, the same everything.
That sounds interesting.
It's actually really good.
I'm here for that.
You have to listen to it. So it's DJ Snake, Bipolar Sunshine, Paradise.
Okay.
It's actually really good. Listen to it. It's kind of catchy. Debbie Dawson, Chemical Reaction. I played this for you guys. It starts out a little bit country EDM, and then she changes into a little bit of a different vibe. She reminds me of a band called First Aid Kit, which I really love. They're like a folkish, North European band that are really good. But yeah, check her out, and then I'll let you go towards the other one, Snoop.
Okay, yeah. So I got a couple joints from the rap world. I'll just start with like the horrible ones, like Troy Ave. Troy Ave is a rapper from Brooklyn. He has a new album called God is Great, Paper Straight, May 25th issue. I imagine that you could probably hear better sounds coming from a sick ward or something. Like there's probably better sounds made in someone's bathroom in the morning. Do you know what I mean?
Goodness.
Straight trash. Troy Ave. He used to be good.
JP's opinions,
not ours.
Oh, this is everyone's opinion. Trash, straight trash. So I don't know. It's out though. So if you need something to place your drink on, that'd be a good reason to buy the CD.
Wow.
Let's keep it kind of positive, maybe.
That's the only negative one I had.
Okay.
All right. So let me move on to let's go do Exhibit. Right, Exhibit from the West Coast dropped a new album. It's called Kingmaker. I had super high hopes for Exhibit. Always been awesome. I listened to this album and it's like he sounds good. He still sounds like he has like energy. He still sounds like he has like pretty good rhymes. You know what I mean? Like he's getting up there, man. Like, but like,
dude,
it just
all of them are.
It just didn't go there. I'm like, like there's no like jams.
We are still holding on.
Yeah.
To the 90s, 2000s. That's what we're holding on to. So.
And I love Exhibit. This is no diss against Exhibit. I'm just like, this ain't your best album. Like. You know what I mean? I wanted better, and it didn't go there.
But as you get
it's
older,
not a bad album. It's just better. It's just mid. Everything's mid.
Can you top anything that you ever did?
Yeah,
really?
People can. Yes, absolutely, yes. They just choose not to. Like that's what
I feel like it's the genre and the people listening. It's they want to try to like. I don't know. I feel like it's the genre now.
Well, speaking of mid albums, there's another artist that's super huge that dropped a very mid album. Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Wow.
Or, as we all know him, Snoop Dogg. He dropped a surprise album called Is It a Crime? And yes, it is a crime to drop an album this mid.
Oh my goodness.
It actually wasn't.
Is Last Dance with Mary Jane on that album?
No, that's on the...
That's actually the video is very strange.
Yes, I've seen the video for that. That one is kind of crazy.
But the song is good.
See, I don't like that song though because I'm like, you that's on the Missionary album, the Snoop and Dre one. I'm like, you just lifted a Tom Petty song and basically just put some rappity raps on it. You know what I mean? Like to me, that takes like zero talent. It's like anyone can take any song and just be like, I'm just gonna like put a rap on it and like there's
but it has to sound good.
But he's a rapper, not. I mean, that's what he does.
Tom Petty's song was great when it first came out, so why wouldn't it be great again?
So why would he change it? Why fix something? Why if it's not?
But to me, it's like, if you're that good of an artist, you're just gonna come up with something original that's awesome. Like, look at Prince, man. Was Prince out here doing, like, remakes of other songs?
I was going to say something that's really awful.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, you don't know because he's dead.
That's what I was
I'm just saying, like look at his career. Like, he didn't come out and, like, take someone else's song and be like, oh, I'm just going to do a little Prince stuff over it. And that's.
I would love to hear what Prince would do today.
I know. Like,
I know.
I'm just saying, like,
even at the end of his life, he did some, like, crazy stuff, but it was still, like, now posthumously, like, it was actually.
This new Snoop album is mid. I like hearing Snoop. I like the fact that he's still doing it. Like, that's awesome.
There was like maybe 2 songs off of it that I was listening to today, and I was actually bopping to it.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for like maybe 2 or 3 songs.
Do you think that they just get like complacent? Like, I'm Snoop Dogg. They're gonna buy. I could like shit and record it.
Absolutely.
They're gonna buy it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even sat there and said on the one thing, he was like, Martha, even where's my chain?
Right.
You know, because he knows.
There's no effort involved. It's just like, I've already.
Stop saying that. There's effort. There is effort.
I mean, people
involved.
are hyping it up, like a lot of these, like you say all the time about like Fat Joe.
Yeah,
it's always like, oh, this is going to be my best album,
the best
and then
thing.
It never happens. It's like they get people so hyped.
Yeah.
Because people are going to buy it.
Right,
you know
it's Snoop Dogg, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I listen to it, and I've heard every Snoop Dogg album, and I'm just like, here's another one. Like, you know what I mean? There's, I would say there's maybe 2 or 3 tracks where I might play them over and over again. Other than that, I'm all right. I'm good. I don't really need that album.
Sorry, I just opened that can, so let's open this can of worms.
That's right.
So artists, after they already came out, years and years, did they actually sit there and actually have an album that was better than their first 3 or 4 albums that they ever came out with? Because
a lot.
I already got it. I got it right now.
Okay.
Perfect example. Ready? Nas.
Okay.
Yeah. Nas's first album, Illmatic, is widely considered the most perfect hip hop album ever. Right. After that, he's had tons of great albums, right? But I do think there's a low point in his career where, like, it really started to get kind of crappy. Like the Hip Hop Is Dead album, I didn't think that one was that great. There's other joints in there, right? But then he had like a 6-album run later in his career, like within the last 10 years, where it was like amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you dip down and then come back up again and make awesome albums?
But that's what, like, I'm trying to sit there and say, like, there are plenty of artists that didn't have a good run early and then came out and
like later on.
Yeah. But what artists that they were young and we all knew back in the late 90s, 2000s that all of a sudden came out now while we're
like the veterans or whatever.
Yeah. Shit. Stop talking about our age, JP. But yeah, like they come back and all of a sudden it's like this great comeback album. Like, is there anybody that you could sit there and actually think about? Like Mariah Carey,
Mariah Carey I feel like had a good comeback. She did, so she had like her first couple or whatever, right?
Did she though? Like,
yeah, like her first like couple albums were like awesome, and then she like got a little crazy, and then she came out with the Emancipation of Mimi album, and that album was like pretty slamming.
I mean, Whitney Houston too. I mean, I feel like her albums got really, really good.
Yeah, but that was also 10 years ago too. But I'm talking about now. We are now in the 2025. You know.
Well, I think the problem with music right now is why I can't get into music, like certain music, mainstream music right now, is because everyone is trying to be so different. I feel like
right,
and music is not recognizable anymore.
Right. There's no like. I used to love ballads, like Mariah Carey and like R&B. Like even the R&B guys are starting to come back. The boy groups are starting to come back out. R&B, even the pop groups, all of that stuff. And it's like you hear them, and it's like you want to have that nostalgia, but then you're listening to it, and it's like, oh, they're trying. Well, I think
that's the thing about music too. It's like you went through a phase of like 2 decades of really good music.
Yeah.
Like 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s, I think there was really cool things happening.
Yeah. But
they were influenced by something prior to them. But where we're at now in music, it's it's like everyone is like throwing all influence that they've ever had there in front of like people that even made them want to do music. And you can't even tell the difference between people anymore.
It's like, let me just throw something at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
Like,
because music is nostalgic. That's why it makes you feel something. It's a memory. It's a whatever. You're not getting that out of anything today.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, that's why I was just like, let's open this can of worms, because you have so many people that you know, even rappers, R&B, like all these great artists, and they come back and it's like everybody wants to believe, yes, this is going to be like something great, and then you listen to it and you're like, mid.
All right, so one other one I just wanted to point out, Benny the Butcher from Griselda. He has a new EP called Excelsior. That joint's pretty good. There's only like a few joints on it. It's like, I don't know, 6-7 joints. That album is pretty good. I say album, it's probably an EP, but it's slamming. That's probably the best one that I've heard. Like, it sounds like classic Griselda. He got bars on there, beats. Like, it's awesome. It's a good listen. It's probably the strongest one that I've heard like this month so far. You know what I mean? So it's rough out there in the rap world, but hey, we're getting through it.
I have one more to bring back. One that I forgot because it was on the opposite side of my paper. Mariah the Scientist, Burning Blue. I never listened to her older stuff, but I kind of knew she was out there. But this song, it's so good. I think she's been there for a while, but this one I think is her.
Yeah. What genre does she sing?
She's R&B.
Yeah, R&B, I'd say.
She's a singer.
Yeah. She's a singer. That's a genre, singer.
Just a singer.
I mean, it should be.
No, she is R&B.
Well, I mean, I know it's not country, but
no, she's more like R&B.
Yeah, I'd say R&B-ish.
Yeah, but Burning Blue, you guys got to listen to it. It's so good. Like,
I'm gonna keep that.
This one is gonna be something that I'm gonna be listening.
She's come across my radar. I feel like I'm not super hip to her, but I feel like I need to be. I feel like I need to.
She actually was a scientist.
Yeah.
But then she became like she wanted to do something different, and that's why.
Right, science. I like that. That's a good name right there. I like that.
Yep.
So then we also have Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
We were trying to see if JP might find a way to get him to like country music.
Hell no.
Even Tate McRae can't even get him to like country music.
I'll like her on her own, but not on a country album.
So it wasn't bad, though. It wasn't a bad song. No. Tyler had a new song last week.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good song.
You sent that to us.
I'm a fan of her.
It's good.
She's just easy listening.
Yeah.
It's okay. It was okay. Like I didn't love it. I didn't
see. I like
it, but it wasn't bad.
It's like something like driving on the way to work. It's like even I'm a big on lyrics, but just the music of it is nice. It's like it's nice.
It was chill.
Yeah. Then there's Linkin Park got something new out. And I'm still on the fence about how I feel about the new Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But it actually wasn't that bad of a song.
I've always been a big, like I liked Linkin Park when they first came out and stuff. I loved that first album. Even like the second one was good. And it's just like, it's like one of those bands like I still want to like. I just haven't paid as much attention to as I should.
Well, now the controversy is the female,
Park,
the female singer.
Oh, they got a female singer. See, I didn't even know. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little different. The music, it's like you're into it and it sounds like Linkin Park, and then the chick comes on. And it's nothing against women. It's just like, well, this
it's just different from what we knew from before. Yeah. Okay.
But that song was called "Let You Fade" and wasn't a bad song.
Okay.
There's other bands that are bringing females in, and it's like, hey, I don't mind female voices, but when you're in rock and it's like you have the certain like
angry,
whole, old school feel.
Yeah.
And then it's like kind of like, oh, this is different. I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah.
Then the other notable one is "Let's Ride Away," which is Avicii and El King.
Okay.
I thought it was catchy. I liked it.
It's good. That's his posthumous album, and that was one of the newer ones that I guess. I don't know if they if they recorded that before or she just added her lyrics to something. But it's a good song. I listened to that.
So I listened to Spotify New Music Friday, and I see what catches my attention.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
It was one that caught my attention.
I feel like overall
Avicii was always good.
Yeah.
It's been slow this month. There hasn't really been like a ton of stuff or
this month
big names. You know what I'm saying? Well, I say that, and then it's like you got people like Snoop Dogg dropping. It's like I don't know. It just felt very mid overall for the month.
Is that your word of the month?
Mid. Very mid. Very mid.
Yeah.
He's a fan of mid, though.
I love, I mean, hey, that's
mid wings. You had mid.
I had mid wings tonight. Mid beer.
Went in with the whole plan. Still got.
Yeah, I know,
mid.
right? Like,
everything is mid.
I thought you wanted something spicy.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so we're gonna roll into a segment that we call the Balcony Rewind. I love this segment. This is a great segment. This is where we bring y'all back, way back,
back into time.
And it's crazy that, you talk about way back in the time, and I was looking at some songs from the early 2000s. I was like, that was
I know,
20 years ago. Like, oh, my God.
No, but it like I said, we said this in the last podcast, it doesn't matter what time.
Yeah.
It just matters, some people forget songs.
There's a vibe to this segment, I feel like.
There is.
I almost look at this segment as a challenge. Like, who's going to have the best one? Do you know what I mean? Like, I look at it as like a challenge.
But it's not the best. It's just, there might be songs from the early 2000s that somebody not, maybe forgot about. And it's okay. Like, mine is always listening to the 80s because for some odd reason I'm like...
80s,
I'm so stuck on, what did I remember? Yeah. And then it's like... holy shit, I heard this song and I'm like, everything.
It all comes back.
All coming back to me. That type of shit.
All right, so what do we got for this one? What do you got for your...
I got The Deal.
The Deal.
The Deal. The D-E-L-E. The Deal. 2 occasions. I had to replay it for everybody tonight, and Amanda, my girl, she actually, as soon as she heard it, she was like, I only think of you on 2 occasions. And I was like,
day
and night. I was like, what occasions? That's day and night.
That's right.
Yeah. So
this
was 1987.
Banger.
And The Deal is actually made up of 3 guys. The 2 most famous, Babyface and L.A. Reid.
That's right.
Right.
LaFace Records right there.
Yeah. So like that. And they had Body Talk, which was 1983. So I had to go way back into time. When I was 3 years old, and I actually do remember Body Talk.
Yeah.
So it was one of those songs, but 2 occasions for some odd reason, as soon as I heard this, I was like, oh my God, my mind was blown. And I'm like, I remember the video because it's all 3 of them just doing this weird
They would do them choreographed dances, I feel like, in the videos.
But it's like Babyface doing a freaking they were just standing there in front of this house, and they're just doing this click,
the snapping,
and they were all doing the same dance, and I was like, oh, I freaking remember that video because I'm like, it was so crazy. And then you see Babyface on the piano because that's what he did.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh my God, that Babyface is amazing.
Yes, I agree.
He's
still
good.
To this day, he wrote so many songs, and he's been in so many different groups.
Yeah, he sparked a lot of careers. I feel like. Yeah,
L.A. Reid, biggest producers.
Yeah, record head, LaFace Records and stuff. Oh my God,
him and his brother.
Right? Who was on there? TLC, I think, was on there. Outkast, I think, was on there for a while. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But The Deal, I was like, I know this song, but then when I had to look back to who actually. Was the
2
group,
occasions.
and it's The Deal, and I was like, I didn't know that was the name of the group, but then I recognized Babyface because you recognize Babyface from everywhere. But it was it was great. So, that's
a good one, right there. I like that.
That was a good one. I really like that.
Yeah.
All right, shall I go?
Go ahead.
Sure.
All right, mine is by a little group called Shy. It's called If I Ever Fall in Love Again.
Oh my God. Wait.
I like that.
My God.
Nice.
Wait.
You know what's crazy?
Did I just win?
I heard that song When we left dinner last week, when we left that bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like popped right up like.
Yo, so there's two versions of the song.
The acapella?
Yes.
The acapella is the best.
There's one with the beat, right? And then there's another one where they would play it acapella, and they used to play it on the radio. And that joint was fire.
Oh, that was the best one. That's like the other version I know.
The very first time
Hey, I thought he doesn't like country.
Fire.
Like a little twangy.
Fire.
I will be sure that
the lady is afraid.
That was so good.
Yo, like perfect. Perfect.
Good job,
Sorry,
guys.
guys. Yeah,
that's the jam right there. That's the jam. Like y'all forget, how that was on the radio like crazy back.
Oh my god,
98 YCR and all that stuff. Q106 and all that.
I can't wait to hear that back because that's probably so horrible.
Yo, we probably sound like we just won American Idol. I'm pretty sure.
We sound like drowned rats. Stop.
That's the joint though. Fire. That's my little contribution. That's my little contribution.
No, the acapella one is
the best.
Fire.
Yes.
Fire.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Mine isn't like as like way back.
Okay. All right.
And I think this is gonna surprise you.
No.
Amanda got a crazy one.
I don't know why, but I love this song.
Yeah.
It's Little Rob.
Okay.
Bring out the freaking you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
We just heard that not too long ago.
I remember when she told me I never heard of the song ever in my life.
Amanda loves the song.
And she's like, "You don't know what my favorite song is?" And she turned on the television. I was like, "What in the hell is this?"
It is amazing, right? Because let me just preface this real super quick. So with rap, right? There's like little subgenres. Obviously, you have the big genre, and then you have little subgenres, right? So this is a little subgenre under rap. It's called it's like Chicano rap. It's like LA.
Oh my god! Yes.
It's, you know what I'm saying? It's like southwestern U.S., Mexico. There's like Chicano Latino rap, right? And that's exactly what this is. And I'm not well versed in this at all.
Amanda is.
But Amanda is an expert in Chicano, Latino.
I think we played it in the car, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I love
Amanda is the biggest Lil Rob fan.
Yeah,
it's like that song. It's not
that
like
song.
all of.
You have the album though. She got those CD.
But people might not remember it because it's been some time.
That's the song though. If you're trying to get your freak on, you put that song on. Bring out the freaking you, Lil Rob. Put that on.
Maybe that's one I need to listen to get.
Put that song on, and it's time to clap them cheeks.
Oh my god. Oh, I can hear it in my head now.
Oh,
the clapping the cheeks of the song.
No. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! That was a song.
It sounds like stirring macaroni and cheese.
Oh my god!
Okay, that's enough of that. All right, Matt. What is your show?
Man, that's awful. Mine's like positive and like not dirty.
Sorry, maybe I should have went last.
Go West, King of Wishful Thinking.
Yes. I remember hearing that song like coming home from school, like on the bus or whatever. I have my like Walkman or whatever. I'd be listening to the radio, and I remember that song being like played on the airwaves like back then. Like I remember that song. Like they would play it so often. Like that was a jam back in the day.
It was like one of those songs that like it was like
heavy.
A transitional song from the 80s to the 90s.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty cool.
No, but
it's so positive. Like it does. I mean, who hates that song?
Right.
It's
a feel-good song.
Yeah.
It's a feel-good song.
And I didn't even know. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's so popular because it was on the album for the soundtrack of Pretty Woman."
I didn't know that.
I didn't even
You
know
didn't know that?
I
knew that.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Hello.
Wow.
People that actually watch the movie.
Right? Like, hello.
No, that's crazy.
We are girls. You guys just.
Oh yeah. As soon as I heard it, I'm like,
that's
what I think of Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's pretty crazy.
And I read something also about that song. Like there is also like a scientific thing as to why that's actually like the only song that is a good song ever in history.
Really?
Wow. Like broken down scientifically.
Like being positive. Like
based off like bass line, horns and stuff like that. It is like the only song in history that is technically a good song.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I mean,
scientifically, if there's a scientific thing to music. But.
I mean, I've heard heard Eminem and Necro, so I agree.
I feel like that song is kind of like in the same like space as Africa.
Toto,
Africa.
yeah.
Like, I feel like it's
everybody
the same.
knows that. Even
everyone knows it.
And
Everyone loves
it's an amazing song. Nobody wants to sit there and hate Africa.
Yeah.
Nobody's committing like hate crimes or
like,
How
would you hate that?
I hate wishful thinking.
Right.
I hate being optimistic.
Yeah, that's good. I like that joy. That's a good positive joy right there. I like that. Optimistic.
That's a
I like
good
that.
way to end. I can't wait for you to add those to our list.
Yeah.
That's going to be on my Spotify, Balcony Life Rewind.
Yeah,
Spotify.
check that out on Spotify, along with our show.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. All right, y'all. Credit, edit, or dead it. The car edition. We're going right into it. I got a bunch of Johns here for y'all. First one, limos. Limousines. Limos. What do we feel about limousines?
They've been replaced with party buses.
Yeah.
True.
I'm actually going to dead it.
Really?
I'm going to dead it because I got hit in the head in a limousine trying to pop open whatever you want to call it, the moonroof.
The moonroof.
Yeah, the sunroof, the moonroof.
It might be different on a limo.
We tried to pop it open and it fell on my head and I got a gash in my head.
That's just an emergency
that
exit.
wasn't a window.
It was a heavy piece of glass and I will dead limos.
You're deading
limos. She said she would do it and she did it tonight.
And I did it.
Yep.
Right now.
Nice.
Spot on. I will dead limos with a freaking moon roof. Sunroof. It was probably a sunroof because God, I don't know what they are.
Yes, yeah. I think so.
I used to remember. I mean, I think they're cool.
Yeah.
I used to remember like when my older siblings would go to home, like a prom or something, and they would get a limo, and we were like, me and my sister were like, gotta get in the limo.
Yeah.
So they're cool.
I've never been in a real limo. Like I've been in the party bus
and
like
the limo,
that, but not like a real limo,
like a limousine.
The long SUVs.
Oh
What it's called.
It's like the same kind of thing.
It's a concept of a limo.
Yeah.
But it's just not that.
Yeah. I forget what they call them, Jones. I don't know. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Same type of deal, though.
Do you know what they're called?
Well, it would be a...
It's like a limousine.
SUL, Sport Utility.
Oh, there you go. SUL.
SUL, maybe. I don't know.
I'm going credit with limos. I remember back in like the 80s and stuff. Like limos were like insane. Like if a limo pulled up, you knew
someone was famous.
Someone famous, someone important is in there. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like there's still sort of that thing today.
I don't believe so.
No?
I don't believe so.
So bachelorette parties and proms have ruined it?
Yeah.
Basically?
Not limos because now they're SUVs.
Yeah.
They're the bigger ones. If you see like a limo kind of thing, I'm like, is that like a corpse in the back?
Is it a hearse?
Well, that's crazy because I didn't think about that because they do that now for funerals, like the family rides in the limo.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I don't mean to be like dead
like morbid.
I don't know. Ever since I got hit in the head with that, and I had to go to the freaking bridal shower with a gash in my head, and they wouldn't even take me to a hospital to get stitches.
That's crazy.
Now it's more like famous people are like in motorcades.
Yeah.
Like big black SUVs with tinted windows.
Right. They got the whole entourage with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I see one. I'm like, either like, oh, maybe that's somebody partying.
Yeah.
Is it homecoming or prom season?
Yeah, it probably doesn't.
There's
mean
no
as
famous
much as
people going to be driving around here in a limo.
It's just people that
I'm saying
have money.
All right, so Lori says dead it. I'm saying credit. What are you saying, Amanda?
I'll say edit.
Edit. Okay.
To what?
To limousines?
Not a long car.
You want it shorter?
Can we shorten it up?
Or bigger?
No, I haven't rode in a real limo.
Okay.
So I don't know.
You just think they've lost their luster.
Are they even expensive to get now?
I don't
like
an
actual limousine, not like
a
party bus.
Yeah,
I think a limo is probably super cheap now compared to a party bus.
Yeah,
because a limo you probably have only 4 or 5 friends. Sorry.
True. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why I was just like, the four of us should just go get a limo.
Yes, we'll get a limo tomorrow night.
All right,
Yeah, we're rolling in a limo. Yo, balcony lifestyle.
JP comes out with his outfits, they're gonna know he's famous.
Make sure you wear your chains.
I'll have all the chains on.
Just don't have a moon roof or a sunroof.
What do you say, Matt, to limos?
You can keep them as they are. We'll say credit. They're
credit? Okay.
I like the idea of them.
Okay.
Not credit to edit or
Just
credit to debit.
All right, ready? On the complete opposite side of the spectrum, NASCAR. NASCAR.
Ugh.
What are our thoughts on NASCAR?
Well, Lori likes it.
I'm going to say credit.
Credit?
I'm going to say credit.
Okay, why?
Dude, if you have any of you been to NASCAR?
No.
Nope.
I've watched it on TV. I've never been there. And honestly, I don't feel
completely different on TV than it is when you're there. When you're there, you get the rubber in your mouth. You get the whole
that's really enticing.
I don't like
that's really enticing.
There's other ways to get rubber in your mouth.
Oh my God.
You don't have to go to NASCAR.
No, it's actually...
If you go to NASCAR, you'll probably want the rubber in your mouth.
True.
I don't think those men shower regularly.
Yeah. No, it's actually really fun. I loved it when I went. I've been to 3 different races. Yeah. Actually 4, actually.
Do you wear, like, ear protection? Isn't it, loud?
It's so loud.
Definitely not mouth protection.
The best one was Bristol.
Okay.
I went to Bristol. Yeah, that was freaking crazy. The only thing that sucks is when you have a smaller track, there's more wrecks. Okay. It's crazy, but then you're sitting there like, oh my God, it takes so much time for them
to
make sure everybody's okay.
When you're watching the left turns on TV, you're like, oh, well, I can do something different. But when you're actually there, it's like, oh, shit. So all you can do is drink or do something else.
Go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
The built-in bathroom break.
But no, I actually, I loved it. I actually loved it. I would like to go to another one at some point, but yeah, I don't know. Bristol was really cool.
Credit to NASCAR.
I've been to a few. Oh gosh, I would actually love to go to frickin' New York. To Watkins Glen. They say it's boring, but because it's a huge track, so there's only certain places that you can sit. Yeah. You only see cars come by every like so many minutes and stuff like that.
It's like 150 times though.
Maybe not. But I love New York, and I don't know, like there's something about it. It's until you go and actually sit and see it, it's crazy. You can be as redneck as you want to be. You can be not redneck. But when you're there, you want to be a redneck. And it was an amazing time.
So that's a great time for me to jump in.
I'm going to make this a math sentence. Like a math equation.
All right, go ahead.
How many laps are like in a race?
It's different.
Right.
It's different
what's one of the larger ones?
Well, you have...
Daytona 500, does that 500 laps?
Well, obviously. There are some races that will sit there
I'm not
and be
interested
like 4
in watching someone make 2,000 left turns.
Yo, so
500
Matt,
laps, 4 left turns.
What do you say to NASCAR?
I'm passing.
Dead it?
I'll like switch to it. They wrecked. Great. And then
okay. You're like happy that they wrecked?
No, not. I mean, this is the most exciting thing that happens. People are going to watch to see if a wreck happens.
True.
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
It's the best part.
Either Dale, Dick, Bobby, or...
Oh, no.
It's equivalent to the fights in hockey.
Right.
Yeah.
You know who's going to win.
Yeah.
No, I remember when Dale Earnhardt died. That was...
I mean, that's sad.
No, that was... that's sad. We were all at my uncle's house, and we were watching it, and it happened, and we were like, oh my God. We went home.
Did he die of boredom?
No.
Stop, JP.
I just thought he might have. I don't know. Maybe he's watching all the.
No, that was actually
turns.
like, yeah. I'm slightly redneck.
No, you're
weird kind of way.
No, you're not that.
No, but back in the day, like I remember that because I remember going home and I called my brother and I was like, dude, like what the? And I was like, he died. And my brother was like, what? And yeah, it was. Dale Earnhardt was freaking an awesome racer. I mean, there are some racers that I hate, fucking hate, and sit there and it's like, oh, I hope you wreck. But Dale Earnhardt, he was the one that when he passed, it made racing, and people will say it made racing boring, but it actually protected the racers, and they still have, like, you have Formula One, which again, I'm like super excited to see that movie.
True.
But yeah, the things that they've come out with to sit there and help the racers, I still would not want to race all day and pee in my own freaking suit, because that's what they have to do.
Right.
You know, you sit in there, they have water packs, you have to sit there and they're sitting there drinking out of like a water. Those cars get so hot inside.
Yeah.
People that sit there and say that they are not athletes, they're not, maybe not athletes in a certain way, but those guys go through some crazy shit to be in a car to race as fast as they fucking can and pass and try to. I would love. That is one of the things that ever since in my 20s, I would love to actually go to a track and freaking race a car. I would love to do that.
That's your dream car, NASCAR?
No, but I would love to do it. I would love. That's partially why I still sometimes to this day, if there's nothing, I watch golf. God damn it, I watch golf. I watch soccer.
When I'm at my parents' house.
I watch, and sometimes I do watch Formula One and NASCAR.
Amanda, what's your take on NASCAR?
I'll say edit.
Edit, okay.
I'm not all about it, but I do feel like it does take talent to do that.
Okay.
Like, I respect that. I don't need to watch it.
I hear you. Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and give my opinion.
Oh,
dead it. This might be the lowest dead it I've had since the show started. F that. I don't want to see that stuff at all. It's not a sport. F all these rednecks watching it.
Wow.
I don't want to see that at all. There's no way. Like, come on, man. I've driven on 83 up to Harrisburg. I'm a NASCAR racer, basically. Like, it's the same thing. I've been in cars. I've had to get out, pee, whatever, wrecks. I've had wrecks on 83. I'm a NASCAR racer. Anyone can do this. This is not a sport.
They cannot.
It's not a sport. I did it for years. For 4 years, I was a NASCAR driver on 83. Get the F out of here with NASCAR.
We all were NASCAR racers on 83.
This is my most hated get it thus far. NASCAR. Get out of here with that.
And you want to talk to me about, like, I don't credit anything, but I credit this. It's to me, like, I don't have to watch it all the time. I'm not, like, a super fan or anything, but it's something that actually, like, if I could see it again in person again, I would actually do it.
True.
I would.
All right, next one, oil changes. What do you say to oil changes?
I say edit.
Okay.
Because they're needed.
All right.
I just wish it didn't cost so much.
True.
Sometimes.
True.
I think it depends on the shop you go to. Yeah. Like, I usually get my oil changed when I'm doing my inspection and emissions. So it's always like about $100 for oil.
For everything.
So once a year?
Yeah, I don't drive my car that much anymore.
That is true. Yeah, you don't really put like a ton of miles.
I was going to say mine's.
Yeah, every once in a while I will get an oil change if it shows that it's getting to like
oil changes in a year.
Yeah, but you drive a lot.
I'll say edit to oil changes as well. Like, I know it's necessary and it's a good thing to do. It is just annoying. It's like, oh my god, like I gotta like do this. Like, come on now. My dad used to do them himself. Like, he used to. Like,
I wish I knew how to.
Yeah.
It's actually not that hard. You just have to, like, my car is so low, you can't even get under.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to have...
That's the problem with newer cars.
You need a jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2. Not 1, 2 jacks.
All right, so edit.
Does anybody edit 2 jacks?
2 jacks?
Sorry. That was a stupid joke.
I was going to say, yes, I know.
What do you guys say? What do you guys say to credit edit or dead it for...
Edit. Everybody says edit.
Okay. Edit. Matt.
Edit to edit. Yeah,
edit.
Edit. Okay. It's pretty straightforward, I feel like. Everyone got to do it. You got to do it, you know. All right. Next one, electric cars. How do we feel about electric cars?
Well, she likes them.
I like the looks of some of them.
Okay.
Ew, I don't.
I do. I like some of them. They're pretty cool looking. I think they're.
How long do they last?
It depends. You don't want a Tesla.
It's for electric cars, I'm going to say edit. I think it's actually a great idea in theory. I don't think we're quite there yet as far as like making sure that this is a sustainable thing. Do you know what I mean?
And
like,
electric is going up again.
Yeah.
Everything
are
going
Teslas
up,
expensive?
Yes.
I have no idea.
They are.
Tell me who works at Rudders that's affording a Tesla?
That's kind of crazy.
Hey,
That's
but here's the thing. I looked at Teslas, and like 3 years ago, it was like $45,000.
Yeah.
For like the baseline Tesla.
Right. Yeah.
But compared to gas and electric back then, I think it was like 3 years. You would actually like.
It sucks at first.
You would profit on the fact that you had it.
Right. You end up making money after you keep it for a couple years.
But you also have to look at your electric, like your electric at your house. If you don't have like a high, whatever the thing is.
Oh, like the wattage.
When you buy one of these electric cars, do they come and put like a outlet for it?
You got to get it. You got to get it installed.
And sometimes it can cost crazy
buku bucks,
thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
to change your electric.
But it's like, you're spending a lot up front to save money over time because you never have to get oil changes.
There's no oil.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like you never have to get gas. You know what I mean? Like think of all that money you save. Like
but you have to pay the electric bill.
I mean, true. But so here's let me throw this in, right?
And the problem with that though is. Does it have a gauge in it like your...
Yeah, it'll tell you. It'll tell you.
So the difference between running low on gas is you can drive on fumes.
Yeah. Like,
right.
Can you drive on 1%?
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
So I used to work with a girl that had an electric car, right? And like I'll leave all the names and stuff out of this, but she used to charge it at the place that I used to work at, right? And I've worked at a bunch of places, so nobody knows where that's at.
Right.
But, it was free because they didn't charge. So she was like, I go to work, I charge my car for free.
That was back then. Now they're getting smart and everybody is now charging...
Because it's more prevalent now.
Right. So you can't go to Sheets anymore.
Yeah, you can't sit at Sheets and just
Giant now has the stations and stuff like that, and you have to actually put your credit card in and blah blah blah. But
then again, like I heard, it's like it's I think it's a little bit better. Like if you're paying compared to gas, right? If I'm gassing up a car, like.
But again, that's subject to change now.
Right.
They're starting to do taxes. They want to do taxes on
the government. Got to get their cut out of it,
right?
You know?
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like, you could make it easy on us, or you could make it hard on us.
If anything, hybrid.
Hybrid's a good idea.
You can figure out if you want to do gas. Obviously, if you're low on the electric, but also the whole thing, the batteries, and they're saying that they explode.
Or how long do they actually like last for? Right. Like, are they good for that? I mean, I kind of feel like we're still early on in the technology, so it's like...
And the Cybertruck is now dead.
Ugly.
Yeah.
They're saying it's so ugly.
It's scary looking. Like, it's just like, what is that?
Yeah.
And they're saying that's dead now, so Elon is looking at taxis now. He's gonna put all that money from the Cybertruck towards taxis, electric taxis.
That's what we need. So
what's the next one?
All right, so next one. This is an old show. I think you guys might remember this one. It is an old show on MTV, Pimp My Ride.
Oh yes,
yes, Pimp My Ride.
I loved it.
Credit all day.
Were any of those cars legal?
I think they were. I think they all were. Like, they put like crazy shit in them, but it's like. It still worked, you know what I mean? It was all still like, they just put like weird, crazy custom stuff. I'm sure it cost a fortune, But it was like, they had like MTV budgets back then. You know what I mean? They had those big budgets, so it's like they could dump like 10,000 into a car. You know what I mean?
Everybody wanted the low rider. They wanted the freaking sound system, the bass, all that shit.
Yeah. I think
I enjoyed watching it.
Credit all around? Is it credit?
Sure.
Credit.
Yeah.
Edit. It needs to be on now.
Yeah, they need to bring it back.
I like
man.
that.
See, that's probably what Exhibit should be doing. Like, bring the show back. The album, we'll work on it. Shout out to Exhibit, though. Kingmaker in stores right now. We'll go buy it. All right, and next one, hot rods. Hot rods.
I like hot rods.
Yes.
Matt says credit right off the bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hot rods?
Street rods, hot rods.
Street rods, hot rods.
Whatever you want to call them. I know some of the guys like getting mad when they call them street rods.
Street rods. Is there a difference?
Classic cars.
Classic cars.
Some people are just, you go to a car
muscle
show,
cars.
You always have that like weird, like, what are they?
Yeah, the nomenclature of it.
Yeah.
Matt says credit. I'm gonna go. What do you guys say? I'm gonna
say credit.
Lauren says credit. Amanda says credit.
I like going and seeing like what people do to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
The art of it.
Yeah.
I like just seeing them drive by.
I think I'm gonna be Debbie Downer. I'm just going Debbie. Of course. I'm Debbie Downer. I like just dead it. Like I just don't care. Like it's not my thing. It's not my culture. Like I get annoyed when they all take over the entire town and we have
because
to
you
drive
get
different
hangry
routes.
and you can't go get your
right.
food.
Like,
I can't get the Dave's hot chicken.
Right. I want to go get food, but I can't because there's 17,000 hot rods in my way.
Well, just wait till the end of May when we have the Country Fest.
Oh, God.
We'll be out of town.
I know.
Weekend.
I want to be out of town.
That's a whole. That's a
I
whole
want
show
to be out of
right
the
there.
country for that
we'll
one.
Be out of town.
30,000. It's supposed 30,000, 20,000 people.
Drop a bomb on that.
Oh no!
Stop.
I just don't. Oh my gosh! Thank God you guys are going away. Because I don't want to get from North York down here. Because Route 30 is like in the middle. No,
they were talking about that at Mother's Day.
Oh God!
I have family members that are going.
Oh gosh!
And I love them. God, I love you guys. I just hate that you're going to that stupid fucking thing.
Awful.
Nobody at work, like the guys at work, are like talking about it, and like nobody's going. It's like
thank God,
because nobody wants this. Once you park in that and tent in that, you can't leave.
Horrible.
It's gonna be like
I saw the porta potties. They're getting ready for it.
I know, that's crazy.
Just trashing up your county.
And they're gonna have showers.
Oh,
they don't use showers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the first ones they'll get all year. They're
like, I'm not used to it. Water.
Oh, you guys are horrid.
We don't have them. We don't have them there running water pipes in our houses.
Stop it.
Bunch of dumb rednecks.
Stop it.
Toothbrushes too.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Fake ass breath.
Oh my God.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Next one. Uber as a concept.
We need that.
Uber?
Yes.
Credit?
Credit.
Well, Amanda says credit. Matt says credit.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll say edit.
Edit? Amanda says
say
edit.
edit.
Okay.
I love the Uber. That way we're safe and stuff. But sometimes when you're in the Uber,
yes,
I never know if we're supposed to talk to them, not talk to them. Like, what's the etiquette? Like, if they start talking to us, then I get it.
Okay.
You know?
I'll go credit all day, and the correct answer to that question is you always talk to them, whether they like it or not. Like,
No,
you know what I mean?
Don't.
Yes, you do. You talk to them constantly
because
they enjoy that. Everyone wants to be talked at.
I'm gonna say this is my first edit to credit, or my credit to edit.
Credit to edit. Okay,
credit
somewhere in the middle.
If I'm in the vehicle, I'm fine. But if I have to drive behind one and they're coming to the same place that I'm going to, and I'm behind them and they're doing 15 miles in a 45 mile an hour,
that's a problem.
And I start getting a little angry.
Road rage.
No, it's just like, hey, can you get a little faster? Trying to get to work, and then they pull into my work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
They get paid well?
So I heard it used to be like pretty bad, but I actually heard like recently it's gotten better. Like I think they give you more of a cut of what you're making. I think it's still not probably where it should be, but it's like better. So I don't know.
People do it, so it's gonna be worthwhile.
Yeah, there's people. People do it like all weekend and like make bank off of that. You know what I mean? A couple $100.
The thing, like, I would not want to be one because your insurance. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Because
you never know what you're gonna get.
No, but
in the car,
they don't provide you insurance.
Yeah,
it's on your own car. So if something happens,
but like, I mean,
they don't even pay any portion of it.
I don't.
If you're out driving anyway, it's on you anyway. Right. You know what I mean? Like even if you're not driving for Uber, like it's on you anyway.
Uber Eats, anything like that, like any of the stuff, like because you're a contractor in a sense.
Do you have to get a different type of insurance for that?
You have to probably get like full, if it's a newer car,
very comprehensive
or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you have an older car and nobody wants to
I don't think they let you. I think you actually have to have like a certain like year or whatever to do it too. Like like you can't drive like a beater and do Uber.
That'd be cool.
Oh my god!
Yo, I better be paying.
We get an Uber XL and it's like the wooden station wagon.
Yo, I better be paying like $2.
$2 better be a hoopty ride.
$2 for a ride in a Ford Festiva. I'm down.
Or a Chevy Astro van.
Right, right. Yo, here's $3.
As long as it gets
with curtains in the windows.
Yeah.
Like, are we coming back out of this?
Yo, take me 100 miles. Here's $4. That's how it is. I'm gonna say credit to Uber. Every time I get in an Uber, I try to make it the most memorable trip ever.
And they're like, you're making it the most miserable trip for the driver.
Pretty much.
To ask the same question to every driver.
Yes,
the first question you ask
Have you ever seen tits?
How did the female guests pay you?
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, you know. Hey. All right. Next one, let me provide a little bit of backstory as to why I included this one. So Jay Leno is the next one, right? Okay. And the reason I put him in here
because he does cars.
Yes, he's big car dude, has mad cars, big car garage. You know what I mean? So that's why I included him. Jay Leno. What's the?
I used to watch his show.
Like my credit.
Credit. Amanda says credit. Jay Leno. Lori says credit. Also
got his face burned off because he got flamed up by working on a freaking car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
When did that happen?
Right?
A couple of years ago. You know about that, right?
Yeah, he got hurt. Like,
yeah. He was in a hospital, like in a burn unit for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a big car
gasoline
dude,
and it just
into
his face.
I'll say edit to Jay Leno, and not really for any like bad reason at all.
You just don't like his jaw.
No, like I think he's great. He's funny. He's awesome. I just don't think he's like the best, late night person I've ever seen. The best, you know what I mean? Like he could be a little funnier.
Are you into the late night? What do they call it? Late night?
Late night shit. Like I think Letterman's funnier. Like you know what I mean? Like
Letterman's funnier.
Yeah, like I think he's better. Like there's people that I think that have
Johnny
more talent.
Carson. I remember.
Johnny Carson was like better. Like, but then again, like nothing against Jay Leno. Like I thought he was funny. Like he's funny. He's just not the best. You know what I mean?
Everybody has their own. Because I love Jimmy Fallon and
Jimmy Fallon's good. Like
every certain like night, like some nights he's like off, but. I don't know. Everybody's.
I say edit for Jay Leno. Edit to credit. This is the first time I'll do like an in between. I edit to credit. I'll do that. What do you say, Matt? Jay Leno? Credit. Okay. All right. So y'all three say credit. Okay. All right. We got two more. Cadillacs. Next one, Cadillacs.
I love Cadillacs.
Cadillacs.
They are a staple in just
pimping.
Yeah. Yes. Pimping. I will not say names, but we have a guy at work that he had the most awesome Cadillac when he first started working for us.
Yeah.
And it was during COVID, and nobody could go anywhere. And I remember going down to Liquid Hero, getting a case of beer because they had it where you could
at work.
No.
We know where she went on her lunch break.
Hold on.
Liquid lunch.
Go back. I went downtown to get a case of beer at Liquid Hero because they were only doing it out of like the window that they had there. And I remember coming back to my car with my case of beer, and I saw this freaking pearlescent freaking caddy. And this gentleman rolled by, and he's like, "Miss Lori," and I was like,
"Oh shoot."
Yo, I work with with you. Freaking awesome. Like,
In
his
the
car was
caddy.
pimping. Yeah. He just bought a brand new SUV caddy, and that's his like ride or die till he's gone.
That's his
like,
brand.
He just wanted to get it because he wanted to have that for the rest of his life. And I'm like, you go, man. Like, you want something, you go for it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful SUV. I love caddies. They're
caddies
staple.
are awesome.
They're a staple.
It's pimping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy when you look at like all cars. Like it's definitely not the most luxurious out there. It's not the most expensive, but like for some reason, like it still holds like
kind of they're super comfy.
Yeah, super comfy.
Yeah,
like they looked
God.
awesome. Like Cadillac, man, that was like the top of the line for a long time. You know, and I feel like it still kind of is a little bit. You know,
it is
buying a Cadillac. That's
a thing still.
Yeah,
I feel like it is. Like
I know nothing about cars. I don't know.
What do you say, Amanda? Cadillac?
I don't even know.
She don't even know what a Cadillac is.
I mean, I know what a Cadillac is, but my idea of a Cadillac is like an old boxy looking thing.
Right?
I mean,
right.
some of the
we'll
old
just say edit because.
All right, edit. Amanda says edit.
Cadillac like
I'm just in
that's
the middle. I don't.
No?
Cadillac.
Yeah,
something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at what they look like today.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nice.
That's
the SUVs are
really nice.
Yeah.
I think I have a dream
That's
car.
why I said edit because I don't know that much about them.
So
the car looks tough. I like that.
Matt says credit.
Like, yeah.
Matt says credit.
Tustin. Wait, no, that's not. Yeah, no. That's Tustin as a town, apparently. The
so
Cadillac
we're going on a road trip?
Lyric, is that what it's called? Luxury SUV thing?
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
That's the electric one.
Oh.
The Lyric is, that's why I kind of like them. They're
It's
pretty
kind
cool.
of nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say? Credit? Edit?
Like,
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think to have one.
Bam. So look at that.
There
Yo,
you go.
shout out to
Yeah,
Cadillac.
interior.
They
Yeah.
just made a sale right now.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Last one. This is a good one.
Uh-huh.
I prepared this.
Oh, yeah. Those are nice.
I prepared this one just for y'all. Ready? This is a song. Okay? This is car inspired. Okay? A song called "Move, Bitch."
Get out the way.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
Yeah. "Move, Bitch" by
Get out the
Ludacris. What do we feel about that song?
Lori sings that to people when she drives.
I be singing that to people in the grocery store.
With my car.
No, but low key, seriously, like if you you ever that song kind of plays you and you want to just get the fuck out of here, like
Isn't it the perfect song? It's
Right?
perfect.
Yes,
Like,
it is.
Yes.
Credit all day.
I'm saying credit all day.
100%
Like,
all day.
It is what everyone is thinking. You know what I mean? Move, bitch, get out the way.
Yes.
Perfect for the car episode.
Yes.
That's credit all around right there.
Yes.
100%.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yo, and that's credit editor that it. Let's clap it up for credit
Yay.
editor.
Beep, beep.
Move, bitch. Oh yeah. We got a very special guest tonight for the interview here. We got Dan the Volvo Man, as you've seen from YouTube and radio commercials and all that around York. Dan the Volvo Man is here. Let's clap it up.
Hey.
Yeah.
Very glad to be here. Very honored. Very humbled.
Yeah,
all
man.
the above.
Up on the balcony, like
Absolutely, living it up.
That's right. So let's jump right into it. Can you tell us about your background and how you got involved with Volvo?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as far back as I can remember, always been a big car guy. I probably get that from my dad. I just remember back when I was a kid, my dad would always be shopping for cars, like window shopping, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Not a serious buyer. He just loved checking them out. He loved driving them, and I just remember that vividly. And when I was in first grade, I wanted to be a car designer.
Yeah.
Right. So growing up, I kind of didn't have the discipline to really chase that dream. And the irony of growing up is when I went to college, I was guaranteed I was going to be a filmmaker. I went for a film degree in undergrad, and that's part of the irony of life is when you're that age, you think this is my career path, this is what I'm going to do. And at the age where you're like the most confused, like the most like misguided. You're kind of like starry eyed and have big dreams and everything.
Yeah.
And I got my film degree and ended up not going that direction.
Yeah.
And as I was working my undergrad, I was wrapping up a couple of courses. I got a job at Lehman Volvo of York in the parts department.
Oh, nice.
So I was working in the parts department, and years previously, I had summer jobs where I was a car washer. I would run. There was a dealership in East York. I did auction drives for them. So so you kind of have odd jobs here and there that revolved around cars because always been a lifelong car fan, fanatic.
Kind of like car adjacent, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and at that point, I was looking also to shifting towards like marketing.
Yeah.
So when I left, I said, if you guys ever have a marketing position open up, give me a call.
Okay.
So from there on, I went and I landed a job as the marketing coordinator for the York County Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yeah.
So doing events there, doing some writing there, doing some design copy. And it was about a year into that I got the call back from Ray Bromley, who's the dealer principal of Lehman Volvo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And at that point, they were using a third-party agency to do all their ads. So there'd be an agency that just would do all their creative, all like the design, all the placing for radio spots and TV spots and everything.
Yeah.
And he decided at that point, because he had 3 dealerships, so he had 2 Volvo stores and a Saab dealership. And he said, I want to take this, and bring it all in-house. So have one person focused on all the marketing.
Okay.
So I was considered, for that job. And, he gave me a call and I interviewed with him again and a couple interviews and landed the job.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. And, around that time, not to date myself, but this is before dealerships had social media accounts.
Right.
So
right.
I was the guy that came in and created a Facebook page for the dealership, Twitter, YouTube and all that stuff. So I basically created our social media platforms from the ground up.
Oh, nice.
And, this is back in the day when they were still advertising in the yellow book for if you remember phone books and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had the big thick phone book.
Yeah. So one of the first things I did was I said, we had to stop advertising in the phone book and that sort of thing. I'm like, advertising is changing. And this was before things got really targeted with search engine optimization and search engine marketing and the way Google really works and, algorithms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So this was the really early days of that.
Getting that early online presence.
So it was exciting. I got to be around cars. You got to be around, Volvo was one of my favorite brands of all time.
Yeah.
And, so was Saab really back when they existed.
Yeah, true.
But, went in there and went into the marketing route. And then, a few years down the road, they asked me if I'd be interested in being in sales management.
Yeah.
Which is not a typical path because when you're in the car business in the dealership level, you usually go into sales before you go into sales management. And I completely bypassed that whole sales side of it. So I had about a week worth of sales training before I went into sales management.
Oh man.
And it's been a wild ride and here we are about 20 years later.
Yeah.
And I'm currently the used car director for both Lehman rooftops. We have the Volvo store in Mechanicsburg and the Volvo store in York.
Oh, in York, yep.
And the marketing director still. So I'm kind of wearing a couple of different hats and it still feels pretty new, which is, a good sign that I enjoy what I do.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. That's what's up. And it's got to be difficult wearing different hats, trying to do because there's kind of 2 different functions for those 2 things there.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of overlap here and there as far as merchandising goes and all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. But it's challenging and it's rewarding, and there's always things in the industry. Anyone that can say they can predict what's going to happen next is lying, or they're just have no knowledge of the way history tends to repeat itself and not repeat itself.
Okay.
So there's things that happen, not just in the car industry, but in industry in general. COVID happened, and that was a huge deal, and no one knew how to really navigate that.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming or anything. So and that was all new territory.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where people don't really remember, but Pennsylvania was one of the states where they actually shut down car sales during that. So there was a time frame where we legally could not sell cars.
That's crazy. So,
all the dominoes that kind of fall after that.
Yeah.
It's there was then there was there was shortages, there was chip shortages, and car production was constrained.
Yeah.
And living through that and seeing the highs and lows, I mean, it's a roller coaster ride, and you're not sure what's going to happen next. Yeah. And here we are, 5 years later, and we're in a tariff situation.
Right.
So dealing with an import car, there's a 25% tariff on these things that come in. So it's like, how do you navigate that? How do you price things? How much do you build?
Yeah. Yep.
Volvo has a factory in the U.S., so they're going to expand production there. But it's like they have all these moving pieces that
trying to offset the cost.
Absolutely,
of
it. and the car industry is so labor intensive.
Yeah.
So you take a single car, right? Mm-hmm. And an individual vehicle probably has about 5,000 parts on it. And those parts are produced between 30 and 40 different countries.
Oh,
so the way these things all come together is like just amazing, the way it all comes together and works. And, the misconception from a customer's perspective is if I'm paying you $50,000 for a car, you're making $50,000.
Right.
When the true cost is just so astronomical. There's very, very small margins overall.
Yeah.
But it's it's an exciting ride, and like I said, you can't predict what's going to happen next year, let alone 3 months from now.
Yeah. It's always always different circumstances to deal with, and it's you got to like kind of position it to to the customers to make sure they're getting what they want. So,
absolutely.
So how would you say that Volvo is different from other types of cars? Like what kind of sets them apart from from another brand?
Right. So, like I said, I've always been into cars, and, I could probably name 100 different cars that I would love to have. And Volvo's always been one of my favorite brands because it's not the obvious choice.
Yeah.
So when you look at Volvo's competitors, the German brands, the BMWs, the Mercedes, the Audis, annually they'll probably sell between 300 to 350,000 cars in the U.S. a year.
Yeah.
Whereas Volvo's kind of a small fish. They're cracking like 100,000 cars a year.
Yeah.
In the U.S. and that's kind of like been a rising number over the past few years. And I like going out into the parking lot and I'm not driving the same car that's right next to me or three rows down. I like having something unique. And as far as specifically Volvo, they're a Swedish car company, and so there's they're the way they do things a little bit differently. So they design things differently. A 10-year-old Volvo is still a good looking car.
Yeah.
So they're built to like last test the test of time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And we have speaking of that, we have a customer in our Mechanicsburg Volvo stories. He's put over 1 million miles on his Volvo, like truly. So it's like record setting.
Yeah.
The way the Swedes kind of engineer and design things. These things are built to last.
That's amazing. 1 million miles. That's crazy.
And they're comfortable cars too. When you sit in a Volvo, the Volvo seat has what I call a 6-hour seat. You can take a 6-hour drive in one, and when you get out, you feel as good as when you got in.
Okay.
Again, this goes back to Swedish engineering. They have orthopedic specialists on their seat design team, so the seats are comfortable and supportive in all the right areas.
Yeah.
Between my wife and I, we're 7-time Volvo owners. Once you have that seat, it's hard to imagine not having it.
Yeah.
And another cool thing too is, Volvo has this, long-standing. If you've been around for a while, right?
Yeah.
So if you have gray hair, like I do, right?
Yeah.
You remember when Volvo was like a boring car company?
They used to be like boxy.
Boxy and upright and like nothing that stood out. And then, back in 96, they came out with this super fast, hotted up, sports sedan called the Volvo 850R.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I started paying attention to them. I was like, this is awesome because it's a sleeper.
Yeah.
So the sleeper being like the car looks sedate, it looks like anything else, but there's a few different styling cues that kind of tip you off to saying there's a little bit something more under the hood here.
Right.
So it's like a car that will surprise you. And Volvo has done turbocharging longer than any other car company. So back in '81, they were doing turbocharging.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember seeing that like on the cars.
Yeah, turbo on it, and now everyone's doing it. But they were kind of the first to do that, and obviously. You can't talk Volvo without talking safety.
Yeah.
This is the company that invented the 3-point seatbelt. So when you plug in your seatbelt, that's actually a Volvo invention that you're using.
Okay.
And that's been estimated to save over 1 million lives.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things about the way they design their cars is anytime there's a real life accident that happens within 100 miles of their design center in Sweden, they send their engineers out to those crash scenes that if the crash involves a Volvo vehicle, they want to see how their cars fared in an accident in a real world scenario.
Yeah.
And then they recreate that accident in their lab, and then that's the information they use to design their next generation of cars. So
that's awesome.
The newest Volvo is always the safest one you can buy because they're using years of real life accident research to design these things.
Yeah, they're like, that's the best way to do it too. It's like learn from the mistakes and correct them moving forward. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really good. All right, so what would you say, wearing these different hats and doing different things like with marketing and with, selling and things like that, what's your favorite part of the job? Like what's the part where you love going in every day and what function is that?
Yeah, I mean, I like being a cheerleader for the brand. Like I said, I'm a believer. I think it's easier to sell something that you believe in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I like educating people, as far as, what these cars are designed to do, the unique features, the benefits, the technology, because the technology is always changing.
Yeah.
And that's what really, gets me going. Also, when I look at my role, so, the whole sales aspect of a dealership life is to turn inventory. So you want to make sure you're pricing things right, you're merchandising things right, and to see it work. Yeah. One of my primary roles is I actually acquire our pre-owned inventory. So if it's not something that's coming from a trade-in, it's auction. Okay. So doing online auctions and seeing the benefit of like knowing I know the market, I know what will sell, what won't sell, winning bids and seeing those things, the process all play out and the car being sold and having a happy customer in it and moving on to the next one. Yeah. And seeing the goals met each month it's really, it gets in your blood. It gets you motivated.
Yeah. Setting those goals each month and kind of achieving them. That's definitely like a way to keep it rolling. So how do you ensure, like, if customers come to you, how do you ensure that they have like a positive experience with what they want? How do you ensure that they get that?
Well, that's a great question because when you're talking about dealerships, they have a really negative connotation. People would rather go to the dentist than go to walk into a dealership, and we recognize that. Yep. And it comes from the top down, right? Yeah. So again, shout out to our dealer principal, Ray Bromley. He knows, this is a people-centric business. Okay. And that means taking care of your employees. Right. So if your employees are happy, they're going to be motivated, to help the customer, and the customer is going to appreciate that. Yeah. So what I say is we have a really anti-sales approach. So we're really conversational. Okay. You come in, we're gonna disarm you basically. We're gonna find common ground. We're gonna do research for you. We're not trying to push you into a vehicle. Yeah. We want you to be happy with what you buy because for most people, when you purchase a car, it's the second biggest purchase that you make.
That's true. Yeah, it's a big purchase.
So you want to make sure that you're happy with it, and we also want to relay to people that hey, you only buy the car one time. Yeah. You service it for years. So if you choose us, we want you to know that we're going to be there for you. And most dealerships have a really high turnover rate. So if you're in sales, about 2 years is the maximum before you get burnt out and you move on to the next job. Okay. Our salespeople, we have salespeople that have been there for 20 years, 30 years. Oh, wow. 35 years. Our shortest tenure, other than a couple of salespeople that we just hired because we're kind of expanding. Yeah. Is like 6 years. Oh, wow. And so these people have, they know their products inside and out. Yeah. They know how to approach people. They know what options to kind of lay out there. When you leave the dealership, we want to make sure that you're, informed. Yeah, yeah. And we also, when I'm talking with a customer, I want to make sure that if they're shopping for something else too, I said, if you have anything else on your shopping list, make sure you drive that car the same day because it's to your benefit to really know, hey, this fits me. I like this about this car. I like this about that car. We're in a time now where like no one really makes a bad car anymore. So it's basically what fits you the most. And we find that if you've come onto our lot, chances are we're going to sell you on a Volvo. But we're going to let you lead the way. Right. We're not here to push you in anything. The things that people hate about dealerships, we take the opposite approach. Yeah. And that's been, a proven test for us. So in York County specifically, this is a county where there's no Mercedes dealership, there's no Lexus dealership, there's no Acura dealership, but there's a Volvo store. Right. Which it goes against the common sense of York being a smaller market.
Yeah.
How did Volvo survive the whole time? And we do it through customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
In fact, recently they have what they call the CSI, the Customer Satisfaction Index.
Oh, okay.
And the Volvo store in New York actually scored 100% on that. And they're actually the Lehman Volvo cars in New York is the top Volvo dealership for customer satisfaction in the service department.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Geez, that's really good. I've had situations where I've been at other dealerships, like, I won't name them, but like I've been at other dealers and you do kind of get that thing where it's like, they're coming out and they're trying to be pushy and stuff. Yeah,
there's people on the lot ready to swarm you.
Yeah, that and even in the service department, sometimes it's like, after they sell you the car, you go back and it's like they just want to get you in and out and be done with you. So like, yeah, I mean, that's really good with the, the customer approach. That's always like the best way to go. And especially if they're treating employees that well, that they want to stay there, that says a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's reflected, in the way the customers get treated.
Yeah.
So if you have a happy employee, you have the right car, you have the right, the right people in place, everything else just kind of falls into place.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a good match. That's kind of like what it sounds like they're looking for, a good match for the customer. So, okay, are there any strategies that are used, and this may not necessarily be at just Volvo, like this could be like, anywhere, but are there any strategies that they use for like selling cars based on like the amount of inventory that they have or times of the year, or, are there any kind of like strategies that you kind of have to work around? Yeah, I mean, we, when you look at the outside factors, we're kind of at the mercy of the market, right? Yeah.
The simple, when you strip back the simple elements of what runs a business, it's supply and demand.
Okay.
So if the supply is high, then incentives are there. There's low APR savings. There's cash incentives. There's lease incentives. If the supply is tight, there's less money to kind of shuffle around. And there are times of year where, like around the holidays, end of the year, that's when you're gonna see as a customer more incentives because the manufacturer wants to meet a certain goal, a certain quota, and they have by the end of the year to meet those numbers. So if you're shopping, if you want to be a savvy buyer and you want to save the most, typically end of year.
Yeah.
And end of model year, which is actually two different times of the year.
Yeah.
So with Volvo, we're a little bit earlier to the punch with model year changeovers.
Okay.
So typically, now we're not in a typical situation right now because of tariffs.
True.
Yeah. But I'd say typically
in a normal year.
In a normal year, early summer is when we see the model year changeover.
Okay.
So if you're looking for, like, say, example, a three-row SUV, the Volvo XC90.
Yeah.
It's our biggest SUV, one of our top sellers. If you're looking to find a deal on one, you want to go early summer. If the model year 25 is the same as the model year 26, then there's no reason to wait for a 26 other than you want to pay more and have a 26 on it. Same car.
Yeah.
You want to find it early because that way there's still some selection. And that's when you're going to find a great deal. So model year changeover and end of calendar year are kind of like the two best times to shop. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Now, kind of going into like, with selling cars and things like that, what are the kinds of trainings that they have in place for, like for employees under you or, any kind of person that's selling cars or anything? What kind of training do they have in place for them?
Right. So there's two different levels of training, basically. So the first level of training is actually from the manufacturer.
Okay.
So from the manufacturer, there's different courses that they have set up. So you learn about the product, you learn about how the technology works. The technology is so far advanced now. So everything can be done. Like every manufacturer has an app on your phone. You can start your car remotely with your phone, unlock the door from anywhere, preset your nav, destination, that kind of stuff. So to learn how to pair all that stuff up to your customers' phones and to do software resets, all kind of stuff is basically at the responsibility of the manufacturer. And then there's dealership level training, which can vary. So, and one of the things that, not only from a customer's perspective, but from an employee's perspective is you want to, I've always found that a smaller dealership group will give you more support than a big dealership group will. They're the big corporate outfits out there. And again, I won't name names, but if you can find a rooftop that only has one or two stores, you're in better shape there.
True.
Someone that's going to take the time to have kind of someone look over you and make sure that you're training in the right direction and in the right path.
Yeah.
You can't get kind of lost in the shuffle with a bigger organization.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah. The more people they have like there, it's just sort of like, it's almost like kind of like it's for show kind of. It's just like, yeah, we're just, we got a lot of people here. So that they kind of lose that customer focus sometimes.
Yeah. It's almost like kind of like a school, right? So if you have a faculty and your teacher to student ratio is way out of whack, you're gonna get kind of lost in the shuffle. But if you have a smaller organization that can do more one-on-one stuff with you, then it's better. It's better for your development.
You get a better outcome out of it. Yeah. Okay. All right. What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into selling cars? It may be their first job, something they're interested in. What advice would you give to somebody that wants to kind of step into that arena?
Yeah. So if you're considering sales, kind of like playing on what I just mentioned there, make sure that the dealership group that you go to is, I can't say it enough times, small and local.
Yeah.
I have a real thorn in my side with a lot of these corporate outfits, because right now in the industry, the industry is kind of eating itself. So there's large dealership groups, and you're basically just a number. I don't want to say like that's the case for every one of them.
True.
But by and large, the bigger the outfit, the less they kind of care about you as an employee.
Okay.
So I'd say do your research and make sure that you're going to a store that will treat you well.
Okay.
Having said that, what you really need to do if you want to get into sales, you got to hustle.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be available when customers are available.
Yeah.
So it's a lot like in real estate. You work Saturdays because people are available on Saturdays. You work evenings because people are available on evenings. If the idea of putting in the hours doesn't align with your vision, then it's probably not going to be a good fit. If you're not willing to hustle and go the extra mile, it's probably not a good fit.
Yeah.
So you have to have drive. It's not necessarily a young man's game, but they tend to, or woman. We have a lot of females in this business, and it is growing, thankfully. Because when you look at women in the household are the biggest decision makers as far as purchases go.
Right.
So,
true.
Yeah.
True.
So they have the final say, right?
A lot of guys will say like, "Oh, I got to ask my wife before I."
We hear it every day.
Yep.
But the other thing too is, as I mentioned kind of earlier, is like if you like what you're selling, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, that's so true.
I can't imagine being in a position where I'm selling something that I don't believe in.
Right.
Because we just get that's how people get burnt out.
Yeah. Yep.
So
you got to believe in what you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can happen over time. Like if you're new to the car industry in general, and some of the best salespeople that we haven't come from the car industry. They've come from the restaurant industry because they know how to treat customers, and they're looking to, they have quotas to meet as well. So it's a pretty similar structure.
Yeah.
But what's nice about going into the business for the first time is you don't have this jaded view of the way the industry works.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. You're kind of walking into it like, fresh face and it's a new environment, I guess, where you can thrive. And that makes sense with like coming from a restaurant. It's like you can kind of transfer those skills over, those customer service skills.
Absolutely. So. Because at the end of the day, it's a people business.
Yeah.
Anyone can sell you a car, but if you connect with someone and you like them, you're more likely to trust them.
Exactly. Yep. You got to find that common ground. And then after that, it's like, if they get what they, want to get. So,
right. And if you don't sell someone, it's not because of you.
Right.
It's some people have different preferences, and you gave it the best shot that you could, and you're going to win most of the time if you can connect with someone and believe in what you sell, and if you have good management on top, then the rest is easy.
And who knows? Sometimes they might even come back. You know what I mean? Sometimes they might need a little bit of time to think about it, or you put that knowledge into their head, and they want to come back and finish the deal later. So,
or what we've seen as well is someone saying, man, you guys really took care of me, but I just like this car a little bit more.
Yeah.
But then they refer friends and family to you because
true.
they love the way they were treated.
Yeah.
And it's like a flywheel effect, right? So the more people that you can that you can talk to and you can touch, the more that they're going to send that back to you.
That's
if you
true.
give them a great experience from the top to bottom, even if you don't sell them a car.
That's the way I look at it too. It's like every interaction counts. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Even if you don't get a sale out of it, it could be, hey, they treated me great over there. So, they might have a neighbor or a friend or whatever, like somebody that's going to go and get a car, and then, now they have a good recommendation on where to go.
For sure.
So, all right. Now, what would you say is your favorite car of all time? Doesn't necessarily have to be, Volvo. No,
right.
No disrespect to Volvo, obviously, but being a car guy, it's like you've been around that all your life. So, what would you say is your favorite car of all time?
Right. Well, so I definitely have favorite Volvos, but when I think about my favorite car of all time, I'm also a big James Bond fan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, a particular 1981. Lotus Esprit from the James Bond movie For Your Eyes Only. This car was copper fire red, had like the gold stripes on it, pure 80s sports car. Like, to me, it's just like, it's the coolest car. It's not the, obviously we're going back like 40 years, right? So it's not the fastest car anymore.
Different technology.
Yeah. But it still looks awesome. Like whenever I see that car, I'm like, oh man, someday I will have one of those things. I don't know how. I don't know how I'm gonna, how I'm gonna get there. But
it'll be in
mark my words. Yeah. I think it's the coolest looking car of all time.
Yeah.
It's just and if you're like a child of the '80s, you can totally connect to it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys my age will say like a Ferrari F40 or Ferrari Testarossa, Porsche 911, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't like the obvious choices.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Like the go-to answer. That a lot of people have. I like that. All right, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit here. We're gonna go into some music stuff here, because I always ask all my guests. I always ask a couple music things, just to kind of stay in touch with what people are into. So, what would you say is your favorite album of all time? If you had to pick one album that you can listen to front to back, over and over again, what's your favorite album of all time?
Right. So it would have to be an album that I would never get tired of, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's like the true tell, because I'm a big music fan. Like, I listen to all kinds of different stuff, and that's like, cliche to say, oh, I listen to everything, but like, I do, except for like country. I'm not really down with. But like
in the same boat.
Yeah. I mean, like everything else, I can kind of get into. I can appreciate everything on a lot of different levels. But since I was a kid, like my favorite band of all time has been Genesis, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And most people, that still remember that band, they think about like Invisible Touch and I Can't Dance and all those like top 40 hits, which was like not their best music.
Right.
So 1976 is the year, and Peter Gabriel used to be the lead singer of Genesis, and then he quit. And then their drummer, who was a guy by the name of Phil Collins.
Yep. I've heard of him.
Yeah. So he became the lead singer. Like he didn't necessarily want to. They actually auditioned a bunch of different singers. And the more they heard, they're like, Phil's sitting in the back. He's like, I know I can do better than these guys. So he gave it a shot. And they were still auditioning at that point. But anyway, the album that they put together, it's called A Trick of the Tail. This was the first album with Phil Collins as the lead singer, and this isn't pop stuff.
Yeah,
this is progressive rock. So it's like there's the atmosphere on it, all the songs. There's not a bad, you could just tell these guys were young and they were hungry and they were looking to make their mark on the world, and they didn't, they weren't trying to make hit songs, and it showed. It was like they were coming out with stuff that like no one else was doing, and just like the drumming, the guitars, the bass, the keyboards on it, the vocals, like it's all just amazing stuff. The atmosphere on it is amazing, and I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this album.
Yeah, front to back.
Yeah, front to back. But if you have open ears and you have if you're not locked into a certain genre, put this album on, listen to it 10 times in a row. You'll get something out of it.
I like that too. I like those approaches when people take like when they're not trying to go for like the radio hit.
Right.
Mean? It's like, let's just make some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And let's just keep doing it over and over again, and we'll get like
Let's keep it creative. Let's do something new, something that no one's ever heard before. And man, I tell you what, this album does not date.
Yeah.
Like it was like a piece. It was like a moment in time where it was like this is their their peak album.
Yeah.
And they were still around like decades later. But I always go back to that record. It's so good. And I love a lot of different kind of music. I love the Beastie Boys. I love Portishead. I love Beck, the Police. It goes on and on. But but that album just does it for me every single time.
Yeah, that's what's up. Those are the kind of albums I love, like the ones that are just like no skips, like I can just play it like straight through.
Yeah.
And it's hard, I feel like, to kind of accomplish that. Like it's hard to get like a whole body of work where you don't have to skip anything.
And I love albums. I love listening to like if I get a new album, it's like the days of CDs are over, right? So if I'm on Spotify, if I'm not listening to the Balcony Life podcast on Spotify,
right.
I'm listening to an album from front to back.
Yeah, true.
Because they took the time to put the work in it, and it's like if the album flows right, it's just great to hear the whole way through.
It is, yeah, definitely, and it's also good to see like some of like the veterans, like because they're like they'll still be at it, you know what I mean? Like they're still making music, still putting things out, and then you even have like newcomers that are like still pretty decent that are still trying to.
Yeah.
That's what I always try to do. I always try to find like the next biggest thing.
Right.
And it's weird, man. A lot of things are just kind of like mediocre, but it's hard to find those albums like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of new guys making great stuff.
Yeah.
Like no matter what genre it is, I'll have to take your word for it if it's country. If there's new guys doing country, I don't know because I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like there is a lot of garbage out there, but there's a lot of good stuff as well.
Yeah,
and
true.
It's harder. You got to work a little bit harder.
Yeah, that's true.
Back in the day, there were gatekeepers that the reason radio is falling apart these days is because anyone can get on.
Yeah, that's true. And anyone with an Ethernet cord can like make an album.
Right. And a lot of music has become so like this is just electronic. Yeah. So they have the same snare samples. They have the same, chord samples that like, and an auto tune. Don't get me started on that. It's like it's just watered down. Mainstream music.
Yeah, it allows these people that are like kind of mediocre to to act like they can do it.
Right. And then everyone else ends up sounding the same. But apart from that, there's still plenty of people out there that are doing some great stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, what's your best memory pertaining to hip hop culture?
Yeah.
This is the one we always finish with. This is like the finisher one we always ask every guest. So,
right.
Yeah. What's your best memory with hip hop?
I tell you what. Again, another banger album. I'm going to give you a year, and you're going to tell me what album it is. Right?
Yeah.
The year is 1992.
92. I'm going to go with the Beastie Boys album.
Oh. That's up there.
Okay.
But I'm thinking The Chronic.
Oh, The Chronic. Okay. All right.
That album is so influential.
Yeah.
And you talk about like what Dre was doing then between like rapping and producing.
Yeah.
And even though he was sampling like Parliament Funkadelic and that kind of stuff, he was bringing on live instrumentation on the record too. So that he created a sound, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that has inspired. I mean, flash forward to Eminem, right? I mean, it's like, and countless other artists.
Yeah.
The Chronic in '92, it's like it was a crazy year, right? Because he had the LA riots that year too, and all that kind of stuff.
Going on. Yeah.
But when we think about back in the day, for the youngins that don't know, this was still back when music videos were popping, right?
Right.
So think about all the music videos that were happening back then with the West Coast. And it's like that whole lifestyle was on TV for like a whole generation of kids like us, like. That hadn't seen that, right?
Right.
So it was brand new. It's like, whoa! I mean, like the parties and everything, and like just having fun and laying down beats and hip hop back then was like that early '90s, that to mid '90s era was like unreal. It was unlike anything else that came before it or anything like since then.
It was like the golden era. I feel like. Yeah. Definitely. It's and it's crazy too. That's one of those albums I feel like that like. It's one of those ones that almost everyone has, I feel like. You know what I mean? If they don't have it, they at least know about it.
Right, right.
You can find that, the case of CDs that everyone had. and the Chronic album is probably in there for most people.
Yeah. And then Snoop came out with his record like right after it. And it was like that whole era was like, man, the Death Row era.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Suge Knight and all that kind of stuff. But it's like it was it's nostalgic now. I mean, you throw that on now, it's like it brings you back.
Oh, it does. It creates such like a feeling, such a vibe, and it's like, and they still play it too, which is crazy. Like they'll, there's times where like I'll hear it on like a throwback lunch or whatever. They'll play like Nothing But a G Thing or whatever. So it's like, it's amazing that these guys have like built an empire out of that, and then they're still around. They're still making music. It's crazy.
I know. And think about like a few years back when they did the Super Bowl halftime show. That was just wild. With 50 and everything else, and Eminem was on there too, and Mary J. And it was like, man, that was a show.
And that was like everyone was tuning in. I think it was like one of the up to that point. I think that was like the most watched performance. I think up until that one. So, yeah. It's kind of crazy the stuff that they the legacy they leave behind. I guess
no doubt.
So yeah. Alrighty. So all right. How if people want to get in touch with you or get in touch with Volvo, how would they how can they reach you? What's the best way to reach either you or Volvo?
Yeah. So if you're shopping, check out LehmanVolvoCars.com in Mechanicsburg, LehmanVolvoCarsYork.com in York. We're on North Hills Road in York, and we're on the Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg. Check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/Lehman Volvo. That's where you see my videos, Dan the Volvo Man. That's fun putting that kind of stuff together. And, we educate and we entertain. And we have a Facebook page, all that kind of stuff. You can find us on all the socials. But yeah, check us out. We have, and if anyone's in the market now and you're scared of what's going on with tariffs, just know right now, we're not increasing pricing. We're not doing any of the nonsense that came along with COVID.
Yep.
So, we treat everyone fair. Come out, check out the cars and discover for yourself. These are just, the way I sum it up is these are easy cars to like.
Yeah.
And they're really enjoyable to drive. So, if you have any interest in, a luxury car that's like, not everyone else has, that stands apart from the crowd, that's comfortable and just looks good and will look good for years.
Yep.
Volvo's where it's at, and especially, specifically Lehman Volvo.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yep. So reach out, find them on all the socials. And we thank you very much for being here, man. Definitely. Dan the Volvo,
man. It was an honor.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're going to dip into the mailbag here. We always got great questions for the mailbag. When we actually just got hooked up, we got a bunch of them in here, right? But I got one that really fits into this episode right here, right? Okay, so the question that we got, it says driving in, which would you rather do? Driving in daylight or nightlight? Driving in the day or at night? What do you prefer?
Well, I'm getting older, so daylight.
Daylight? Okay.
With sunglasses. Nighttime, it depends,
Yeah.
what contacts I have in, because the multifocal, they make anybody's lights.
Oh, it's like starburst.
Become a kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
I would say the same.
Yeah.
Daylight.
Daylight? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
And I do not like driving when it rains.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of driving at night when it rains.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
But, I mean... For safety, daytime, sure. Okay. But I do like driving at night.
I do when it's clear and everything's good.
I feel there's
high beams on my area, the deer.
There's pros and cons.
They love to play.
I mean, I feel like if you drive at night, there's usually less traffic, so it's kind of peaceful. Like you're driving around, you don't have to worry about everything. You know what I mean?
Depends on the area.
Right? Yeah, that's true too.
If you're urban, you don't have to worry about deer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The deer in my area,
it could also be
worse.
a lot of traffic though too. You know what I mean? Depending. Yeah. I've been in Philly sometimes at 11:30, and it's wall to wall traffic for no reason. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it all depends. I don't know. I like driving during the day because I can see things. At night, I just
see
guess.
Anything. At
night I just pray. I pray. I'm like, well, I guess we'll hopefully make it.
Right.
It won't matter to me if I'm the passenger. Every day or night, and I would just take a nap.
Yeah. True.
Oh my God.
All right. So that's your mailbag right there. I got more, but I feel like there's so many good ones, right? And I feel like I'm saving them, right? That one was perfect for this one. I got a bunch of good ones. So one of these other episodes, I think we're gonna kind of really bring out a couple of them, and we'll go through a few of them. You know what I mean?
But keep sending them in.
Yeah.
Sending them in. There's a ton of good ones that we have. They're really good. So one of these episodes, I'm pulling out a couple of them. You know what I mean? So, all right. So that's your mailbag right there. All right. And to finish it off, let us put you on. We're going to put you on to some cool shit. So what do we got?
I have one.
Okay. Amanda?
Excluding this evening,
Okay.
I recommend Quaker Steak and Lube.
Quaker Steak and Lube, okay. All right, the restaurant, Quaker Steak and Lube.
If you want to go look at some cars hanging from the ceiling, there you go.
That's true. That is kind of true. I didn't even think about that until right now. That kind of all fits in with the,
They
the
do
theme
have
tonight.
car shows. They do have motorcycle shows.
That's true. They got meetups out there.
You
Yeah.
gotta look at their event page. But
Yeah.
they have a pretty good following for cars and motorcycles and stuff like that. You just gotta check them out.
Yeah. Quaker Steak and Lube. Good wing. They advertise the best wings in the entire United States, which, I don't know.
That's because you got mid.
Mid. I got mid tonight.
You got mid spicy wings.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something different next time.
Spicy.
Nah, they were no.
No, their dusted mango habanero. That shit was good.
It was okay. I like that. It wasn't bad. I liked it. I
enjoyed their original barbecue.
Okay. All right.
You guys are so adventurous.
Right. We take one step outside of the house and that's it.
JP's sitting there. I'm gonna get something spicy. Can I just get medium?
I was gonna do hot, but I was like, do I want that?
And then he was so disappointed. He's like, I'm not impressed.
Yeah. That was the point. I knew I made the wrong decision.
They do have good wings. Their wings are meaty. They're very nicely cooked. Just don't get medium.
True.
If you want
Go
to
all
spice yourself up.
Yeah.
Mid is medium.
Yeah, mid is not good.
If you don't want mid, don't do medium.
Yeah, don't do mid. Don't do mid. That's one of my recommendations. Don't do mid.
I have a recommendation.
Okay.
What's the recommendation?
Do I mean I should?
Yes.
Just do it.
All in.
I recommend Quaker Steak and Lube. Retrain their wait staff.
Yeah, I like
As
that.
a former waiter,
someone
who worked in the food service industry, I don't know what the hell happened to restaurants nowadays.
Yeah.
But they're not even half capacity, and they're saying it is a busy night.
Right. Right. I'm like, we don't even have water.
We are crazy tonight. I'm like, what?
I know. That's why I said excluding this evening.
Right.
They lost silverware.
Right.
You brought me a steak. I asked for a steak knife, and she's like, well, we're really short on silverware.
I was so confused about it. I'm like, you're a restaurant. That's what you provide.
And it's not busy. It is literally not busy.
Right.
No.
Right.
And it's not understaffed. There was 4 bartenders, 8 waiters. They had food runners. It's like, this is not busy.
I was there literally a few days before you guys were there tonight, and it was.
And I sound like a total Kevin right now.
It happens.
But I'm not. You guys know I'm not someone that will complain at a restaurant.
Yeah.
But something about tonight.
Yeah,
just to set that straight. Yeah, we've been out with Matt constantly, right? And we haven't seen this type of service that we got.
She was a very sweet girl, but I don't think she knows what busy is.
No, yeah.
Again, as a former food server, I served, I bartended.
Yeah.
That was nuts for someone to come to the table
I also think
and be like, we are so busy tonight.
The younger generation, too.
Oh, they have no idea what work is.
They will sit there and congregate in a corner on their cell phones, and it's like, oh, you have people sitting here.
Right.
All I can say is, you want tips? You gotta wait.
And also, just so we're clear, I still tipped her well. I was saying.
Right. Yeah. But there were pitfalls that needed to be remedied tonight. Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you don't get 20%. You might get.
She still got 20%. As a former server, I still tip 20%. But I can still also have my opinion as someone who was a really good server.
But now they want 25 to 30%, and I'm like,
that's
no.
crazy.
Back in the early 20s, I did that stuff, and I thought.
And I also tip on with tax included. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
True.
Back in the day, it was 10 to 15, and I was doing 20 because I went through the freaking bartending stuff, and I was like, I'm doing great towards other people that are in the same, service industry, but then now it's like these people expect, to do less and get more, and it's like, I'm sorry, I can't. You have to be amazingly great for me to sit there and do 20 or more.
Yeah. It's got to be mine.
I will do 20% even if you're mid. But if you do less than mid, I'm not giving you 20%.
Nah.
You're going back on the 15%.
See, that's where I'm different. I do 20% across the board. I'll do 25 if
if it's like above and beyond. Yeah.
See, I can't anymore. I'm so like these places now. They want tips for everything.
It's kind of crazy.
People are getting paid more, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, you need to do something besides sit there and be like on your phone and be like,
it's a weird thing, man. Because
waiters still aren't getting paid well.
They don't do this anywhere else in the world except like America. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, you go over to Europe and stuff. Like, they got people like
because they get paid more.
I mean, people
that's their jobs.
Right, but servers, actual servers. I'm not talking a cashier at like a cookie store or an ice cream shop.
Right.
They're getting paid minimum wage. Servers are not getting paid minimum wage.
They're getting like, what, $2 or something?
Right.
Like
and they're also taxed on their tips.
Yeah.
But nowadays you have your waitresses and then you have the food runners.
Yeah.
Your waitress never really comes to you except for every once in a blue moon, but you have everybody else coming and then you ask for extras. And then they go back, and then you never get them because they tell the waitress or whatever, and then it just gets all like
it's all lost.
It's so
mix.
like
it's a mess.
I don't know. I do what I can, but if it's really, really, that's why I only go to certain places because I know that I'm gonna get the same service
but also,
from the same people.
So like when I served, food runners is not a new thing. Busy restaurants had food runners, but the waiter and waitress still put their eyeballs on that tray to make sure everything on that tray was what was actually ordered. Yeah. And then said it's good to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nowadays they don't.
Because again, and that's why it's like they are running the show at your table. At every table they were serving at restaurants that I worked at, I went back, my food was ready. I went back, okay, yes, here's no tomatoes, no onions. If something was not what somebody said, fix this and then take it. You know what I mean?
See, nowadays you ask for like little things like no onions. You still get onions.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right, but because again, it's like they're not, the waitresses aren't going and making sure that tray's right.
Exactly.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I think that's where my like ability to remember, just like work experience. Like I was a server in the restaurants I worked at. That was part of your job.
Yeah.
If someone said no onions, you were supposed to remember that.
That's a part. You got to get that right.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I got a recommendation. I'm going to put y'all on to something. This is a fantastic album that I feel like is by, I almost want to say like an underdog. You know what I mean? This is like somebody like LeBronx James. LeBronx James.
I don't like it.
That's the name,
you don't
right?
Like the name?
I don't like the name.
No, you don't like the name? Oh, man. This is the man right here. So the album is called The Plug. This dude, so you would think that like someone that's just like reselling clothes, like, oh, yo, this guy like can't like do much more than that, right? This guy has an album that is so solid, right? The album is fantastic, and I feel like it really embodies low-life culture. The songs are fantastic. The beats are awesome. The rhymes are like awesome. He's got fantastic features on this album. This is a great album. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is one that's like slept on. People like they don't know it. You know what I mean? So that's why I want to put people onto this album. LeBron James, The Plug. You got to hear this album. It's a great album. He's got this one song, The Crown, right? The Crown that's like one of the singles off of it. Slamming. The beat is slamming. The video's awesome. It's so good.
I'm going to listen to it because now I feel like such a jerk.
Yo, shout out to LeBron James, though, The Plug right there. And buy some polo. Whoever's listening, buy some polo. Hit him up. But, buy that polo.
I'm terrible.
And listen to the album. The album is slamming.
All right.
All right, so that's my recommendation. Anybody else got any other recommendations?
Nope.
No? Good? All right.
I think we're good.
All right, so, we're signing off on the car edition. We're going to go take a car trip.
Hey, good job, guys, because we stayed pretty much cars.
Yeah.
We did.
Right, for the most part.
Oh.
We kept it on point.
We did.
That's how we did. All right, we're going on a car trip, y'all. Y'all come along with us, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, y'all. Clap it up. Honk, honk, mofos.
Move, bitch.